Long ago, by that I mean 2 years ago, Disney pitted two of its favorite adopted children, one made by the god Cameron, and the other brought down from the heavens by the great Marvel Comics Company. You see, back in the day, the eldest adopted child was the highest grossing film of all time, until Disney chose to pit their second most favorite adopted child, Endgame, against it. And Endgame rose to the challenge and fell a bit short. Until Disney gave it some extra weeks at the box office. And it still fell a bit short. Then they gave it an extra week, and then it finally surpassed Avatar. Until about a year later, Disney put Avatar back into the theater, once again pitting the children against each other and having Avatar take away the glory of being the highest grossing film of all, away from Endgame. And thus, we're back to the good old status quo of this movie being the highest grossing animated film of all time. Sorry, film of all time. I think animated because this film practically runs on CGI, but yes, essentially, folks, welcome to the story of Disney competing with Disney to beat Disney, only later to make a comeback against Disney because Disney gotta show that they're better, even than Disney.
This is literally the equivalent of a mental asylum patient isolated in his room going, "I'm better than you. No, I'm better than you. No, I'm better than you. Then I'm better than you."
You had a better joke in mind than me, Pedro.
Yeah,
Go on,
okay.
Luigi.
Okay, to sum this up, this is Avatar. It released in 2009, directed by James Cameron and released by 20th Century Fox. 10 years after that, Disney bought the entertainment part of Fox, well, most of it, and as a result, Avatar then became a Disney property, like almost everything else in the world.
And Disney never made a secret that they are very, very in love with the idea of merchandising the shit out of this.
I mean, hell, they literally integrated Avatar into their Disney Animal Kingdom section of their Disney World park.
And like I normally don't do this kind of thing aside from joking, but I wouldn't really be surprised if an Avatar War shows up in a future Kingdom Hearts game just for promotion alone.
I wouldn't be surprised.
So to keep it short, Disney adopted Avatar as its new child, and now it's going to put said child to the test by having it basically, as of maybe a year or two from now, they're going to have it be part of their new big Christmas.
Supposedly next year's Christmas.
An Avatar film 1 year, Star Wars the next. And so
on. But right before we start, folks, I actually have my country exclusive trivia. When this movie came out, a lot of people noted a lot of similarities with an animated movie that had been released in my country in 2001 called Aida of the Trees. Essentially, Renaissance style, quote unquote, because the animation is not on par, mind you, animated adaptation of Giuseppe Verdi's opera, The Aida, which is based on ancient Egypt. However, I personally do believe over time this is basically kind of like the whole Kimba versus Simba controversy that was around The Lion King. So it's mostly a thing of coincidences, and James Cameron did not really rip anyone off. It's just a thing that happened. But it's kind of hilarious to see some of the designs being slightly similar to the Smurfy cats that we're about to see in these movies.
Well, this is basically Dances with Smurfs too.
But this project actually had been fought for a long time for James Cameron, since 1994 supposedly. But in his own words, the technology had not been there, but he always wanted to find the right moment. And apparently that one was 2009, and it paid off because, again, it became the highest grossing movie of all time, and he still don't understand how he made it. But the movie's already long as it is. For reference, folks, we're doing the theatrical cut.
Because that's the version on Disney Plus.
Yeah, mostly for Reeves' and the audience convenience sake. From the research that we did, the extended cut doesn't really add that much, aside from like an extended sex scene.
That was going to be so integral to the lore and plot of it.
And even then, it was like 6 minutes on addition. And don't get me wrong, probably it was a good additions. But since Disney Plus offered that kind of version, we thought might as well, accommodate with that. Anyway, where should we start, Java?
Well, we're going to start right at the black screen before the 20th century Fox logo.
Let's go.
3, 2, 1, click.
That's the thing, Mateo. Like, I still don't understand how the hell James Cameron managed to take a plot that can easily be told in 90 minutes and stretch it to 3 hours.
Regardless of that, Pedro, sure, this combines a couple of things that have been already known. A bit of sci-fi, Dance with the Wolves, like you said. Nature versus technology. Things that we already seen a bit of everywhere. And mind you, I don't think it's the worst thing ever. But to sell like this much, I still don't understand what was convincing in this to sell like this.
It's simple, Theo. James Cameron, ever since the years between Titanic and this, became a big environmentalist, and he's actually done plenty of documentaries about it and shit like that. And this was his way of preaching about how we must save the trees.
Now you know what, too.
Problem number one, in my opinion, Sam Worthington.
Hey, isn't that the guy from Terminator 4?
Yeah, he was in. Yeah, okay, yeah. This all came out the same year as Terminator Salvation.
Wow.
Now, okay, I'm just going to get this out there. I'm sure that Sam Worthington is a perfectly decent example of a human being. I do not think he's a good actor.
Okay, now, this movie, you know what? I will say this about James Cameron. I have mixed feelings on the man. I will say this, though. If there's one thing I do respect about James Cameron, though, he always, and I do mean always, gives 150% towards his projects. Also, Dead Brother.
It's a little cardboard box.
But, okay. So, if I can give James Cameron credit, I've never seen him ever stimp on, his creative force behind a project. Does that mean his projects are always good? No, I freaking hate Dark Fate. But he never has come off like a guy who is half-assing it, ever. Heck, even when Alita Battle Angel finally, and not even under his own directorial chair, that was Robert Rodriguez, came out, you could definitely see that he put the work into it. Like, I'll give the man credit, he does often like to try and wait until the proper technology is around to properly realize a vision. Case in point...
I'll agree with you. I'll agree with you on Alita. Alita was so James Cameron that if you told me he directed it, I'd have believed it, because there's nothing about that film that screams Rodriguez to me.
Okay, I haven't seen the movie yet. There's not even enough violence in it.
Oh, there's definitely violence.
Really, no.
There's violence too, but it's PG-13 violence, unlike the manga. That's the problem.
I mean, I'd say they got the violence relatively fine, save for some sanitized scenes here and there. Also, to be fair, part of the reason we didn't get to more of the violent stuff is because the movie mainly adapts, the earlier part of the manga. What?
Again, the cremation, it's literally in a cardboard box.
Well, Tio, we gotta make do with what the military has.
The interesting thing is that James Cameron did mention that one of the big benefits of making this movie, and this was back before the movie came out, by the way, how this was a great test of technology for what would later also be used in his supposed Alita movie that he was directing,
Which I guess technically turned out to be true, but that took years, and Paige was about to explain why.
Yeah, but then this movie became the highest grossing film of all time, and then we got an announcement for Avatar 2, then an announcement for Avatar 3, then an announcement for Avatar 4.
Okay, the phrase...
So Battle Angel fans became desperate. Okay, we're never gonna get that movie, are we? And keep in mind, audience, James Cameron didn't just buy the rights to make an Alita movie. He bought the IP itself, meaning no one but him can make adaptations of the manga at this point. Nobody can even touch it. Japan can even do anything with the property at this point. So it becomes a frustrating affair because now that IP is tied to him and only him.
Let me put it like this. To paraphrase from Treasure Planet, the quote, "You give up a few things, chasing a dream." I feel like at some point Avatar became James Cameron's greatest dream. Like, don't just take my word for it. Like, he put a massive amount of effort into the world for this. That doesn't mean the film itself is amazing, but he put a lot, and I do mean a lot of time, money, and effort into this project. He crafted an entire language for the world, like entire sets. Like, okay, the scope of the sets made for this were some of the biggest at the time, here and there. Again,
I forgot the protagonist is paraplegic.
Yeah, absolutely say what you will about the movie, but you can't deny that this movie, there was nothing like this movie in the effects department at the time.
No. In technical aspects, this movie was pretty much.
Was this, since it's Fox, was it done through Industrial Light and Magic?
I don't know.
Yeah, and to continue the Elita thing, by the time the film actually came out, Fox were like a month away from actually being properly bought by Disney.
Oops. Mm-hmm. Actually, that's a good question. Is the Alita movie now on Disney Plus?
Yes, I think so. Anyway,
even if it isn't, it's only a matter of time anyway. But yeah, no, that's the thing. Like, no. In technical aspects, the movie's just fine. I mean, yeah, even to this day, it does look good. Yeah, there are some things that have aged. Because CGI has come quite a while way since 2009, so there are some aspects. So there are some aspects of the animation that definitely do show their age, but it's still a good-looking movie.
Boy.
But yeah.
All right, so here's my favorite character.
The surgeon drill instructor.
Yes, this guy is literally taking Lee Hermey's character from Full Metal Jacket and cracking up to over the top levels to 11.
Okay,
this guy is not a character; he's a cartoon.
But can he beat Clancy Brown in Starship Troopers? Wait, I recognize this guy. This actor. But I think I start to remember one thing. In case you have noticed, folks, Shiri is not really around for this movie, even though it's kind of an important movie when you really get down to it. She wasn't really that specific with the reason, but I'm starting to understand why, and I will mention it later.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, this guy, he's your generic military cartoonish gotta kill me some aliens type of character, and his personality never rises anything above that. He's not a character, he's a cartoon.
And yet, believe it or not, he may not be the most cartoonish character in this movie.
Yeah, okay, one thing this film also does unites James Cameron with a couple of people he's worked with before, namely Sigourney Weaver, who we'll see in a minute, and for the last time, sadly, it turned out, James Horner for the music.
Yeah, sadly. That's the sad part. Like you'd think, with all the years he's had to make this movie, like he could have retouched the script or something like that. You'd think he would be able to come up with something better than this. Because he's James freaking Cameron.
I really do get the feeling that this movie was more so a vessel for showing off how much a big world and lore builder, including all the effects he made.
Let's get to the main meat and potato of the movie. The reason why the movie is called as it is, an Avatar. This, as you noticed, this is a group of like Federation, imperialist, sci-fi human race of this colonized planet is wanting to colonize this one, but the natives are just not exactly happy to see their home planet being, invaded and destroyed. So, one apparent secret weapon is a program that cultivates these hybrid human native DNA, biological creatures, and have a human bonding their conscience to them and use them as infiltrators. Now, here's the thing. If I recall correctly, okay, while it's not a driving force, one strong thing about the movie is the fact that this guy enjoys the role of the Avatar because he can actually have functioning legs. And if I remember correctly, Shiro actually kind of hates this kind of trope.
Yeah.
So-
What's it called?
I don't know if it has a specific name,
I don't think
but
there's a
I've seen
trope
it
for
common. The idea of someone, of a fictional product, essentially demonizing and rejecting a disability in this kind of way. I can understand what he's going from, what he's going for, but...
She'd hate Spy Kids 3 then.
Or Final Fantasy Tactics Advance.
Oh
That'd be
boy,
interesting.
Final Fantasy Tactics Expanse. We'll get to that. Anyway, so originally his brother was supposed to pilot the Avatar, but because his brother is dead, they needed him because he's the only one with genetic makeup similar enough to his brother to bond with the Avatar here.
James, I know that this is sci-fi and everything, but that's not how DNA works.
Hey,
Oh, there's the
Ripley.
guy. We were.
I can't remember exactly. I know. Obviously, James Cameron is the main writer, but does he also have a
checking.
co-writer for this film?
Nope, only
I-
written by him.
Yeah, that's the thing. Remember, this is the guy who wrote Terminator 2, so it's not like he's a bad writer, or at least he didn't used to be.
Okay, so to be fair,
Um,
when it comes to this script, I wouldn't classify it as totally bad, but extremely, extremely misguided. Like, I can see the
Sigourney Weaver.
learning the Navi language and all that. Yeah, that's right. James Cameron actually did make an entire language for the Navi of this movie.
Which I can dig as a process. It's very similar to what Tolkien did with, the different languages of the Middle Earth.
Again,
for his books.
to give this movie credit, there's definitely a lot put into the lore. Like, if I were to judge this movie off of how well the lore was crafted, top notch.
I get the idea, Joe, that having 15 years of development allowed James Cameron to have a lot of free times to build this thing.
Yeah, like, I'm not quite sure what made James Cameron fall in love with this particular project, but I don't think it was just the fact that it became the highest grossing film of all time, because
It was the environmentalist message, from what I can tell.
I mean, okay, I'll say this. I'll say this what I do.
I admit, I haven't seen this on the big screen, to be honest. Even if I probably could have. I was nearly 18. There was nothing stopping me to do that.
Oh, did you see? Oh, wait! Now here's the most cartoonish guy in
man,
the movie.
I remember this guy. He
yes.
literally plays mini golf like this in the control room.
Oh my god.
Does
Okay,
this discount Samuel Pegg? Simon Pegg.
He's not British though.
Maybe he's Simon Pegg's American discounted cousin.
oh look, Ripley dealing with a corrupt executive. Nothing new.
Never saw that before.
Well,
Ah,
I mean, she's not. Well, I mean, well, she's not Ripley in this film, but yeah.
I wish he was
Now-
the protagonist.
Now, okay, here is one problem I do have with the movie. So, Ripley, yes, I will be calling her Ripley because she is technically still dealing with aliens. So, Ripley here wants only researchers to be bonded to the Navis. Not, a jarhead soldier or anything.
Joe, I need to bring this up because Mr. Corporate
Oh,
Douchebag
God, here we go.
Mr. Corporate Douche Nozzle here, that's what I'm going to be calling him, is about to explain to us what exactly we're after in the Navi planet. Yeah, right here.
An Astra. Oh, vibranium.
No, it's called...
Unobtainium.
Okay, in case you don't know, unobtainium is a name given to any, mystical mineral that you don't want to have a specific name in science fiction. It's very common to see in stuff like, for example, the core.
But that's literally... This isn't even on the nose. This is on the eyes. This is...
Well, to be fair, Pedro, it's the equivalent. It's kind of like the equivalent of when a director doesn't want to be credited when it's being called Alan Smithy. It's essentially a placeholder name.
Pretty
That's the
much.
problem. Placeholder names are supposed to, only hold the place until the real name comes in.
Okay, it's similar to that, but basically as a sort of a running gag when it comes to science fiction.
Anyway, like I
Well,
was
yeah,
men-
but this was
Also,
well, here's the
also
thing. Go ahead.
like I was
the,
oh.
that the Disney buyout happened while he's been filming Avatars 2 and 3.
Yes.
Also, I guess getting your conscience transferred is kind of like doing an MRI test while in a coffin.
Anyway, so here's my issue with Ripley in this movie here. So, you want only researchers, not soldiers. I get it, the typical, military don't think with their heads thing, but, lady, you're going out into a world that you know next to nothing about. Are you sure it would hurt to have a trained soldier who can, call the shots if things get hostile?
Not just that, but yeah, there's up a good point. Keep in mind, everybody, this is the first of 4 movies, and the first one came out in 2009, and yeah, where's that Avatar 2?
Apparently-
Supposedly next year, but we haven't seen literally anything.
Okay.
What exactly has James Cameron been doing?
It even was supposed to come out this year, mind you. The magical events of 2020, make me more understanding of this last delay, but...
I get that, Teo, but that doesn't excuse the previous, previous decade where James Cameron was...
no, sure. If anything, again, if anything, we should be glad that Disney finally started to push him on the ropes.
Yeah, so basically my guess is Disney bought Fox, and then they went to James Cameron. Look, James, you've been sitting your ass on Avatar 2 for a decade now.
Move it.
Either make the bloody movie, or we'll take the movie from you.
And get someone else to make it.
Yes, and quite honestly, this is actually one of those cases where I'm actually going to have to side with Disney's position. Because
Whoa.
I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to side with Disney's position on this specific matter, because the way James Cameron handled this series is ridiculous.
Like,
Sorry.
I mean, look.
Lethargically ridiculous.
Look. I'll just say it like this. I get it, If you want to take a while to make a sequel, that's fine. But when that sequel is the only thing that you've been apparently working on since 1997, essentially, if I recall correctly, you got issues, man.
Okay, also, maybe they explained this before when we talked about the DNA cultivation. But again, this is another case where your conscience transplant into the actual creature, in this case, the hybrid, makes you have the same exact voice that you had, as a human being. Even though, by all technical definition, your vocal cords should be different.
So yeah, can I talk about the Smurfs?
Okay.
The Smurfy cats.
Smurf cats. We'll call them Smurf cats.
Oh, wait. Hold on. Before we do that, actually, Dibs, since 2005. Well, wait, no. Sorry. I guess I should say since 2009. But yeah, Avatar was literally the last thing he's done since 2009.
As a director, specifically. But yeah. Okay. I don't really care for the designs of the Smurf cats, to be honest with you. They don't look interesting. They don't look they're just, I don't know, like there's nothing interesting about their design. They're just an anthropomorphic blue cat thing. Like it doesn't look interesting to me. And the faces, I don't know, like there's just something about the faces that's just...
There is definitely a bit of uncanny valley factor, I would have to admit.
Yeah, I mean, maybe this looked better in 2009.
Maybe the sequel... No, that doesn't fit. Remember, I saw this in theaters.
On the big screen.
3D, so I saw this the way it was meant to be seen. And even back then, I wasn't exactly convinced, to be honest with you.
Wait, I gotta love this.
Whimsy! Shit!
Okay,
we're walking here.
Okay, I will give it credit. Aside from the visuals, James Horner's score is pretty nice. So there's that.
And yeah, you know what? To be fair, a guy who did just get legs, of course, would enjoy having those legs back.
I'm actually wondering who's gonna do the music for 2 and 3. Maybe.
I'm gonna check in a sec. Give me a minute. I'll check in a second if it's credited.
Maybe the Dana brothers. We'll see.
Oh, Ripley as a blue cat. Now there's something I never thought I'd see. I mean, it was weird enough when she was brought back as this weird alien hybrid clone. Yeah, who had very, very good basketball skills.
Yeah, this is another problem I have as well. Aside from slight face differences, all the Navi basically look the same, really. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like, couldn't you make some of them a bit fatter, some of them a bit thinner, some of them a bit taller? Like, you know, I don't know. They all look like the exact same model, the exact same 3D model, only slightly changed face-wise.
Oh, by the way, I'm getting a bit ahead of myself, but one thing I'm not too fond of about this movie, this movie is the reason that Zoe Saldana's character in Pirates of the Caribbean never made a return after the first movie. Thanks, James.
Which character?
She plays the black woman who Jack steals a ship from.
Oh, the one that slaps him. Okay.
In the first movie. Yeah.
She was supposed to come back for the sequels, and a lot of people were confused when she didn't, but this movie was the reason for that.
It killed her career?
Wow, oh no.
She's Gamora from the MCU. I wouldn't call that...
I forgot, sorry.
Also, not only that, Tio, she starred in the highest grossing... Wait, oh my god, you know what this means now? Saldana has been in both of the highest grossing films of all time, between this and Endgame. Like, no way, trust me, her career can only go up.
Is that Michelle? I thought it was Michelle Rodriguez for a second.
That said,
Zoe Saldana is actually, in my opinion, the best actress in this movie, to be honest with you.
We'll get to her character later.
She's genuinely trying. The script doesn't really allow her to do that much, but she tries. Boy, does she try.
Also, was that Michelle freaking Rodriguez?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we've noticed that too.
Yes, every time we see this guy, he's always doing something super macho.
you know what he reminds me of? Guy, a big douche who does big douchey things every time he shows up. He's like the main villain of the first Tomb Raider movie.
If he was buffed, I guess.
Look at
So-
that. He
Yeah,
even has 3 freaking scars on the same side of his head.
Because he's so cool.
So, Dwibs, essentially this is a crossover between Alien, Pirates of the Caribbean, and Fast and Furious.
And Pocahontas.
and Terminator.
And Fern Gully.
And Titanic.
Basically every movie rolled into one. But anyway, yes, this is another. Oh yeah, and another thing, the Matrix Revolutions as well, because the humans have these bipedal machine things that look exactly like the bipedal things in Matrix Revolutions.
How uncanny. Essentially, these things are done because the atmosphere of Pandora is not all
Not
that
suitable,
well for
yeah.
humans.
Apparently, according to Wikipedia, because of James Cameron's views on climate change,
Yes.
the only food he allowed to be served on set was plant-based or vegan.
Oh man.
Wow.
I'm actually wondering right now if Disney hadn't bought, if Fox was still independent.
Oh, he loves the power glove.
Yeah.
Yeah, if Fox was still independent, would James Cameron still be sitting on his ass to this day?
Probably.
Okay.
I wager probably.
So basically, Pedro, you're saying Disney were like a cattle prod.
I honestly...
Well, this is one of those, like I said, this is one of those cases where I'm gonna have to side with Disney, to be honest.
Look,
with you.
okay, look, I'll just say this. If the man hadn't let Avatar consume his entire career and potentially nearly end some other projects or sequels that probably would have done better with his more full involvement as opposed to partially, I wouldn't mind him taking this much time to work on Avatar 2 because, he wants to make a sequel that lives up or surpasses the original. But I'm sorry, the fact that this has been all he has been working on since 2009 as a director, mind you. He has
It's
technically...
been more than 10 years. Most of the actors also have aged accordingly. So I get the idea that, there's going to have to be a time skip from what happens after the ends of his movie.
Not necessarily, Theo, because remember, all the surviving characters became Navi at the end, so they just need to do voice acting.
Okay, I will get you back on that later.
You know what's sad though?
What?
Since this film came out, the best James Cameron film there's been so far is Alita: Battle Angel.
Which I personally found to be a very mediocre movie. I know that that's a hot take, but
Yeah, I have to agree with Pedro on this one.
Personally, I liked it, but I'm not gonna act like that movie was perfect.
I still haven't seen it, but like I said, I only basing it mostly from friends that I know who actually have been fans of the manga and they actually really enjoyed it. So
Well,
I'm taking their opinions first.
Like, okay. To be fair, it is very relatively faithful to the manga. It may not do some things as great as the manga, but overall, it is definitely faithful to it. You can definitely tell there's that cutoff where they were planning for a sequel. And look, I'll say this: considering the competition that Alita Battle Angel had that year, there were a lot of movies that deserved to do better than.
I will not go into a rant about it. The only thing I'll say is that they pretty much took out all of the moral ambiguity of the manga and basically made it a generic good versus evil story, basically. But that's all I'll say.
I don't feel like they did that. I can get how it can feel like that, but I never got the semblance that that's what happened. Anyway, so stop me if you heard this before, but Michelle Rodriguez is the pilot.
Of course.
So
Remind me again who instead voiced Ramirez in Atlantis: The Lost Empire?
I don't know.
Because it's kind of a similar role too.
let me check. Which character?
Rocho Ramirez.
The guy with the mustache, if I remember correctly.
No, that's Vinny Santorini. She's the mechanic and pilot.
Oh, I think that was Michelle Rodriguez as well, wasn't it?
Let me check.
Yeah. Go away.
How
How's
lovely.
Four-armed lemurs.
No, the one who plays it is Jacqueline Obradors.
So,
Okay,
So
you.
yeah, like Mr. Corporate Douche Nozzle told us, we're supposed to try to talk to the Navi to convince them to give up their
The unobtainium.
unobtainium because it's very valuable and we want money. Goddammit.
Okay, here's another problem I do have with this movie. It's way too black and white morality-wise. It's
Pretty much.
obviously the
right from
humans
the
are,
get-go, it established that humans are the dick.
and
dicks.
for little to no reason. It's like, come on. Okay, look. One thing we should acknowledge is that technically there are reasons we do certain things here and there too. Like, yes, like going off of this movie's mentality, you think humans literally just go out to conquer. And yeah, sure, there are some that do that, but they're more so the exception to the rule here. Like, maybe we might need these resources. Maybe Earth is becoming less habitable, like in the new Lost in Space series.
Or After Earth.
And if I remember correctly, Joe, but you also had later on, you're going to have a very specific issue about how, despite that, we never actually see a human harm a Navi in this movie.
Yeah, that is a thing. Like, I guess there's technically that one battle scene, but no, really. If anything, we see the Navi kill the humans a lot more. And okay, and here's the thing. While humans are shown off as mainly the villains, you want to know who we mainly see actually be villainous? Just like two of the humans. The rest at best are following orders from what I know.
Okay, that's the problem with Drova mostly is that those two things are the one on top of the chain of command.
Oh, I know. My point, though, is like, well, if you're gonna try and suggest that all humans are bad, maybe do a better job of showing it than just with two of them.
Yeah, this is actually one of the monsters that personally I don't think the special effects on this thing is they're okay, but yeah, they do show their age.
Yeah,
Look at that. Yeah, you can. I don't really believe that thing is actually there.
Yeah, like I said, this movie was definitely groundbreaking for when it came out. Even that did not stop it from aging. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's one of the better looking things from 2009, but...
Oh, shit.
There's something right behind me, isn't there?
That thing looks like one of the four-pedal locust creatures.
Well, I mean, Star Trek came out in 2009.
Shit.
The quadruped, that's it, quadruped. Oh no, Smurf Cat Weaver is distraught by all this.
Let's just pray you haven't gone to the Prometheus school of running away.
To be fair, this is more of a panther, so it's not like it's moving on a like linear trajectory.
There's the old Prometheus now, so.
Hooray!
Well, I heard Alien 5 was good. That's like, what's that movie called?
Alien 5 does not exist. Covenant, no, Jova. I can tell you this. Okay, it's not probably as cheesy as Resurrection, but it's not better than it's not better than Say Free.
Honestly, I'm one of those guys who
Kind
actually.
of sad because Free isn't even all that good.
Again,
Okay.
it's still it spends it has a lot of stupid human characters, and Michael Fassbender spends way too much time masturbating with himself and contemplating the meaning of life.
Okay. I'll just say this: I'm one of those guys who actually likes Aliens Resurrection better than Alien 3.
Yeah, I already told us.
Oh my God! Wait!
Whoa.
Hold on. Did I just hear that right? That was literally the T-Rex sound effect from Jurassic Park.
You know,
Fuck.
Not to me at this point.
James, you couldn't. Okay, even if you couldn't come up with an original roar sound effect, couldn't you at the very least use one that's not that common? Because literally everybody will recognize that as the T-Rex roar.
Like,
What
I
the
mean,
fuck
okay,
did you
look.
just do?
Look, the T-Rex. Oh.
well,
Hi.
And Worthington dies, and that was Avatar.
No. Don't you see, guys? Navis are made with very impervious skin that allows them to make BS jumps like that.
Also, in case you're wondering, of course, if you die in the body, you die in real life.
And already,
Dun.
I have to call the runtime into question. Does this scene that goes on for quite a bit at this point, where he's running away from that creature, have anything to do with the plot?
I guess it's foreshadowing for a later
Ideally, is to
moment.
showcase the fact that Pandora is a dangerous habitat.
Like I
It is, but it's also called one thing that's also important in cinema is efficient use of scenes. Basically, William Shakespeare from This Is Country put it best. Brevity is the soul of wit.
Hamlet is more than 4 hours long.
Well, yeah, but Hamlet actually does justify its
Okay. Okay, if I'm to be fair, like I said, a lot of what this movie goes for is building and showcasing to you the world of it here. So, slower moments like this, I do get. It's to show off all the different principles of the world. Oh, speaking of Zoe Saldana.
Is that her now?
Yes.
Here's Murphy Cat
And
character.
you see that's the fade, Jova. The Navis, almost all the Navis look really identical to each other. The only real difference is the hair and maybe
The clothing they use.
And some of the facial bits.
See, let me elaborate.
Hello.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. Now this little, she's about to try to strike him with an arrow, but apparently this thing, I guess, tells him, no, don't shoot him. He's cool.
Okay.
And that's it. That's all. The only reason. What's his name again? Sam Worthington's character, Jack, right?
I think pretty much.
Protag, cool.
But let's call him protagonist Avatar. Sure,
Yeah.
Jack.
Yeah, I mean, if Christopher Nolan could call a guy the protagonist, we can too. But go on, Pedro.
But yeah, like literally, the only reason Jack didn't die right there and then by taking an arrow to the head is because that one thing, for whatever reason, decided no, don't kill this guy. This guy is cool.
Don't tell me that's explained in the extended cut.
Probably not.
No, I don't remember that being
Like we mentioned, the extended cut is only like 6 minutes long in total, and again, mostly seems to be spent mostly on just the sexual intercourse scene. So I get a hinge that it probably doesn't add that much aside from some minor technical improvement, like for example, a scene or two extending for like an extra 10 seconds to showcase a bit better some of the effects.
But yeah, let me elaborate too. When I say that, I don't mean in terms of runtime. A movie can have 4 hours of runtime for all I care. It's not so much about runtime. It's more sort of about the fact making effective use of scenes. And like I said, this is a plot that doesn't really justify a 3-hour runtime. And scenes like those, which okay, like you said, you want to demonstrate that Pandora is a ruthless world full of dangerous creatures. Okay, cool. But there are more brief and effective ways of conveying that without having look at this too. This scene right here too is already establishing that exact same thing, which makes the previous scene before this one useless, basically.
To be fair, these are different creatures behaving in different way. But let me instead talk about the one thing. One thing about the special effect, that fire effect is kind of bad.
Maybe it was great at the time. I can't really bring myself back to my 2009 self to ask him. But yeah, nowadays, yeah.
Also, all these creatures on Pandora have like 6 pair of arms, set of arms or something.
Yeah,
Okay.
come on.
Bonk.
Whack.
Ladies and gentlemen, our commentary has turned into us doing the sound effects from
Batman in the
the West
60s.
show.
Sure.
Oh,
Kick.
wow.
Ouch.
Wank.
Claw.
Wank.
And now she's gonna get
Arrow.
saved. There you go.
Oh god, she can do that jumping arrow! Run away, guys, run away! Yeah, you gotta love
Did
when
Zack Snyder took over with the slow-mo?
okay, you gotta love whenever archers do that weird jumping thing where they jump forward and then shoot.
Nah, yeah, this movie is way too colorful to be a Zack Snyder movie.
Jova, it's the equivalent of a 360 no scope.
Which reminds me, did you ever play the tie-in video game for this thing?
I have a copy. Right here.
Oh boy.
But not yet. I was waiting actually for us to do the movie before sinking my teeth into it, but I guess I don't have an excuse anymore.
God forbid that's actually one of the better tie-in video games.
I'll just wait until there's a quiet moment or during the Final Fantasy to read the back of the cover. Why not?
By good old Ubisoft. Jova,
I can tell you already, it's not Michelin so Steam though.
Jova, how was 2009 Ubisoft?
Okay, 2009 Ubisoft. They were...
Rayman Origins was to be released.
Okay. 2009 Ubisoft, I'd say they were good, but they were starting to show signs of how things would eventually get by the likes of 2011. And then further down with 2016. So, overall, they were better. That said, though, I don't know if that means that their tie-in games were all that good.
So, basically, did James Cameron have much involvement in that game?
I'll check in the meantime, Dweebs. Give me a minute. On
Okay.
that front.
Okay, look, James, I get it. You want to show off your pretty visuals, but at some point you need to actually start, the proper fleshing out of the characters.
Yeah, apparently, yes, he was.
Apparently, yes, he was a consultant, and all the major actors actually reprised their roles. So that's interesting.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, this is where Zoe turns on Jack. I don't even remember her character's name, but whatever.
Her character's name is Netiri.
That's it, Natiri.
She's not understanding you. Yeah. What are you, a centaur from the Harry Potter universe?
Wasn't Zoe Saldana in Pirates of the Caribbean?
I literally mentioned that earlier.
Jova mentioned it before.
Again, Dwibs, the Avatar is the reason that her character has never been seen past the first movie.
Also this. Okay, the Navi, to reinforce the nature versus technology aspect and, the environmentalism, the Navi have this way of coexisting with nature to the point where they don't kill unless it's absolutely necessary. So doing something like this, what has been done to save Jack's life, it has been considered as basically a sacrilegious act.
Onto. Yeah. Why save him? Yeah, exactly. Why?
Okay.
Oh, this will be great for Kingdom Hearts.
How do you know that?
She was able
I
to
know you
see
for like
his...
5 minutes, and I know that.
I can see your soul. Oh boy, I can sense a quirky little relationship.
Seriously, okay, I have to be honest.
James, you're supposed to show, not tell. But go ahead.
Not just that. Okay, I no offense to the composer. I know that he was very talented for his work, and I remember some of his other scores, but this doesn't feel the right moment to have the quirky thing because she literally just told him something very tragic and everything, and this as the equivalent of essentially turning him on, and feeling that the situation requires some quirky. And now we're back to being serious.
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. Where did she learn to speak English?
Didn't they explain that the other human colonizers taught some of it?
Oh yeah, I think so.
There is that kind of element of colonialism also injected into this, not just the simple matter of conquering.
Sure, that's the usual thing. The Pocahontas also has that excuse as well.
Okay.
See, it's these things. These things keep telling Neytiri, no, Neytiri, it's okay. He's cool. See, hold on.
So here's the frustrating. Oh, sorry. Here's the frustrating thing about the movie. So they already have it suggested that some of the humans are actually communing with the natives, hence why, some of them know English. So why couldn't we just have a movie about two species coming together?
No, sorry, Jova, can't have that. Humans can only be racist in this occasion. And mind you, I know that the joke is that real-life events are shaping up to be more cartoony than the actual cartoony humans of this, but what?
No, like Jack is literally right now being appointed as the super special, awesome, exceptional human who
is bathed in glowing light.
He doesn't even earn.
I get the idea that it might be because you have to remember what they told at the beginning. This particular version of a Navi was created artificially in embryo, conjuncturing that with human DNA. I get the idea that these reconnaissance is done, by sort of a cheating method.
It could be, but explains that, so it's just assumptions.
I guess to be fair, that is
I guess it's better than nothing.
Okay. To give the movie credit, this is something we could infer because they have gone on to talk about how because this body was generated, it is sort of like, the prime alpha male type of Navi.
Bonk.
Basically, the little fairy beings only care about physical attributes.
Okay, to be fair, it might have to do with how nature works.
Think of it more like a biological DNA scan. You're technically falsified your ID, meaning that you get recognized.
Think about it from a storytelling perspective, though, because what's the one I care about the most anyway? From a storytelling perspective, no, James, you don't immediately start proclaiming your protagonist as a super special flower. Instead, have him actually earn that moment.
Also, fun fact for the audience, the copy that we got of the Blu-ray has quirky subtitles that when the Navi are speaking their native language, the font used changes accordingly. So props to whoever subbed this.
Mine, I don't know about your guys' copies, but the one on Disney Plus, the one I'm watching, the subtitles are hard-coded into the...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, ours as well.
Take a wild guess.
You're being crown king. What do you think's happening?
So yeah, the reason people like me like to joke about make the whole Dances of Smurfs joke is because this is literally the plot of Dances of Wolves. People want to colonize this place, and this guy is in charge of infiltrating the place and familiarizing himself with his ways and convincing them to give up the unobtainium. So
But
that's-
inevitably goes native.
That's one thing I really hate in media. When a character should know full well what's going to happen to.
But we're still like, oh, I don't know what's going on.
I don't know what's happening.
I mean, to his credit, he literally does not know what's going on. He doesn't know
Okay,
about
Jova, he's a trained marine. He should know what a situation of I'm being captured is supposed to be. Like,
Well, I think he gets that he's being captured. Okay, I think he's asking more so like if they're gonna kill him, are they gonna accept him,
frankly,
or whatever.
I find more hilarious when he's restrained by people holding his, his hairdo on the back, like it's the cyan tail, So, come here often.
Of course, you see me. You have eyes, don't you?
I'm not
Hopefully.
John Cena.
Kill him.
well, if we killed him now, the movie would be over now too.
Yeah, we probably. Well, okay. Well, maybe we can do something like Psycho. Pass to another protagonist who tries on their own.
But
That
Tio,
would be an interesting approach. Maybe sort of an anthology with each protagonist trying to do something and maybe progressing a bit more from the previous one, learning from that. Maybe something akin to Eternal Darkness and his Requiem.
but
Also,
Tio,
that is a line. His
But-
alien smell fills my nose.
but
Go
Tio,
ahead,
if we kill him, he won't live to become the cyborg that saves John Connor's life years later.
Sure. Only to be an alternate ending, the one that kills him and ruins the resistance.
Silence! I will take a look at this alien and see if he's super special enough not to be killed. That's it, Jake. Okay.
Tasty. This is the taste of a liar. Sorry, couldn't resist.
Oh, wouldn't it just suck if this movie did the goddamn liar review thing as well?
No, I was more referencing Jojo.
Wait. It is hard to fill a cup which is already full? Okay. That usually implies that, no, we can't teach these people because these people already know everything.
Well,
Like,
that's the thing. Well, that's the thing. According to her taste, he is supposedly biologically the best of the type of Navi. So, like, well, as far as she knows, they could not really teach him anything.
Hmm. It's not even just the fact that this rips off Dances of Wolves. It's more so the fact that James, for as much... Okay, if you're going to extend this plot by 3 hours, you could at the very least take advantage of that to flesh out the characters really well. But we're 47 minutes into this bloody movie, and so far there's been little to no character development whatsoever.
Mostly, this is also because we have a lot of characters to juggle with.
Yeah,
That
like,
too.
I guess to be fair, the first 40...
ingredients in this dish.
To be fair, the first 40 minutes we're dealing with the human characters. Now it's time to have a look at the Navi side of things. That said, the result is questionable at times.
And it's also what Jova said before. These blatant black and white morality makes you immediately side with the Navi, despite whatever grayness they try to apply to them.
And that's the problem here. Despite the film definitely being in favor of the Navi also stepping on a woman's tail, very unmanly of you, despite them trying to skew things in the Navi's favor, the Navi come off as the bigger dicks, honestly, in this movie. Like,
Yeah.
let's see, they so far as we
It's like
know...
Star Trek Insurrection or something.
Like, okay, let me put it this. As far as we know, the Navi have killed more humans than humans have killed Navi at this point because, you know, they've literally also mentioned how they fill their darts with poison and kill some of the soldiers here and there.
Rude.
Also, well, guys, how long are we into this movie?
48 minutes.
49 minutes almost.
Nearly
Yeah.
50 minutes, and we haven't made a single Last Airbender joke.
To be fair, Dibs, Avatar as a concept, it's something that predates even that.
But
For all intents and purposes, we should have done a joke about an internet forum avatar.
but here's the problem, Tio. Thanks to James Cameron, the word Avatar was copyrighted.
And hence why it was Avatar, Nickelodeon's Avatar needed, a last title.
So yeah, one thing we didn't mention is that the reason Jake here is the one using the avatar is because that avatar was designed for his brother, but his brother died, and since they share common DNA,
Yeah, I mentioned
his
that.
body is
Yeah, and like I said, that is not how the family DNA works.
not just that, Tail. This is literally the exact same logic for the serum that they used in the first Red Brown Captain America movie. James Cameron is ripping off the 1979 Captain America movie.
I wish this movie had more people yelling at each other.
That's the problem, Tail. Red Brown doesn't yell in that movie. He doesn't. That's the problem.
Okay, actually, that's a good point. I still haven't checked who's the actor who plays angry military man. Colonel Miles Quaritch, I think.
They like mud.
Stephen Lang. Apparently, he had audition for a role in Aliens, the second Alien movie, but could not actually get it. And Michael Biehn was considered for a role. Let me see what the filmography was.
So yeah, he finally gets to work with James Cameron. I'm sure he was happy about that. At least.
Well,
Sure.
okay. For as much as people do make fun of this movie, I don't get the semblance that any of the actors hated their time on this movie or that any of them regret being in it. Because let's be honest, this movie spawned more careers than it killed. And I really don't think it killed any careers.
It's all about the investors. What are you, an EA corporate executive?
Yes.
You know, that would make a lot of sense, actually. If you don't get it done, if you don't get it done in 3 months, we're totally going to screw up any relations we have established with these Navis and attack them head on. Brilliant.
Anyway, I checked Stephen Lang's filmography career. The only movies I recognized him, if he has done something, is The Nut Job. Yes, really. And actually a better movie, Don't Breathe. Which is a better type of horror movie. But get this, he's supposed to be starring in the upcoming... actually, no. I got confused. I thought that he's supposed to be coming in an upcoming movie called Old Man, which I mistakenly thought was the next project of M. Night Shyamalan, but that's another thing. Ignore me.
Okay, all right, to be fair, the whole unobtainium thing, apparently... There is a line in the movie that reveals that the characters in this film call it that for a joke.
Like I said, which is
it's not the actual name for it.
Which in itself is the common thing in sci-fi media. Schlop.
Okay, so the way things work is that everything is connected via tendrils in this world.
Which, if I correctly, explains also the bioluminescence of everything.
Not a bad idea, showing how you can literally be connected with nature.
6 out of 10. You have to practice.
Cameron got the idea for the look of the Na'vi because his mom had a dream about all
Matrix connection.
Wait. You're telling me that all this came from the dream of his mother?
His mother dreamt of a tall blue woman.
And that's where James Cameron got the idea?
I hate this.
What?
Talk about completely misunderstanding what you're trying to say, James. Okay, he's trying to have this environmental message about how humans should be more in touch with the nature and like the Na'vi are. And yet, he illustrates this in the movie by having the Na'vi literally USB connect into the animals. That's like the most moronic, way too literal way to illustrate this. Oh my god, it's I'm not even kidding. Even back in 2000, I rolled my eyes at that bit because it talk about completely It's completely like it's about yes, it's about connection, but it should be about an actual proper spiritual connection rather than anything involving literally plugging your fucking hair into the animals. Ugh.
Okay,
All right.
that was my scene.
Okay, apparently for the role that Sam Worthington's playing here, there were 3 other actors who auditioned for the role. There was Matt Damon, Jake
Matt
Gyllenhaal, and Chris Pratt.
Wait. Who was the second one?
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Huh.
You might know him better, Joe, but he played Mysterio.
Oh, no.
in, Batman.
Oh, no. Not to worry. I know who Jake Gyllenhaal
Pretty
is.
decent, excessive career.
Matt Damon, that would have been another time he has downloaded himself into something.
What Jason Bourne movie was around this time? Dweebs? 2009.
No, the most recent Bourne film up to this point was in 2007.
Which was it? That was my question.
The Bourne Ultimatum.
Okay.
The flux
vortex.
A zone where disables communication in some equipment.
Yeah, that's an actual term used.
Also, I think maybe mentioned it before. The reason why we couldn't actually, enter directly the territory of the Na'vi.
Oh yeah, this is another thing. Floating. Yeah, well, I'll wait till that. There you go. Floating mountains with waterfalls.
That's really
yeah.
cool.
That's
Yeah.
really cool, but it doesn't make any sense.
I mean,
Okay, if there are no mountains there, where do the waterfalls come from? Like,
okay. Well, okay, where's the waterfalls come from? That probably comes from water buildup.
I don't know. I'm not gonna.
And why the hell aren't the islands falling? Gravity is a.
Okay.
It's an
Pedro.
alien world. I'm not gonna question logic in an alien world.
Also, Pedro,
Works differently, I guess.
Final Fantasy XII provided a good explanation of why a piece of rock will float in the air. Magical minerals inside it.
Yes, but here's the problem too. Yes, that was magic. We can't. This is not a fantasy movie. It's a sci-fi movie.
It does contain mysticality into it, kind of like a Don Blue product.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with Dwibs and Tio on this and give this a pass. Like, it's an alien world for starters, and as for where the water comes from, that's easy. Moisture in the air probably eventually builds up, condenses, and then becomes water that falls down later.
We see that the area is surrounded constantly by fog, so there is a kind of a tropical attitude to that.
Besides, the film's long enough. The last thing I need is a detailed thesaurus on how this world works.
Well, okay. I do like to have some explanation of how the world works here and there, and, get an idea here.
No, I never said that.
Wasn't there an actual documentary being released about life on Pandora or something later on down the line?
I think that may have been a featurette.
If I remember correctly, it's actually included in the 3-disc Blu-ray.
Huh. It's like the Animus. Actually, I think the first Assassin's Creed had been... Yeah, this was the year of Assassin's Creed 2, I think.
Huh. My.
Hilarious.
So one of the most groundbreaking movies of all time was released around arguably one of the most groundbreaking video games of all time as well.
Wow, what was the 2009?
Assassin's Creed 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, don't get me wrong, I throw a lot of pot shots at Ubisoft here and there, but Assassin's Creed 2 is definitely an amazing game. Like, one that managed to spawn its own franchise, like Final Fantasy VII did.
There.
Yeah, hello. Also, it's a reverse T-Rex.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, damn it. I have USB 3.0. It may not be compatible with this model.
No, Joe, but it's like it's instead the case where last time it was disconnected without using the proper procedure, meaning that you had to wait a bit for the formatting.
This would be the equivalent of if the boy had this hair to use on Trico in The Last Guardian, like completely flying in the face of what making a connection with a creature should be all about.
The entire point of Last Guardian is to not having to explain how the world works. Well, here instead it's more direct.
You're not understanding my point too. Like, taming this creature should be about creating a bond, not by connecting your hair to it.
Okay.
Not necessarily. Again, the Navi tried to do that without having to be violent. And again, being part of the ecosystem of the world, they apply this kind of rule that, they're treated on a kind of an equal level, hence why the connection and all. Unlike the human, which thinks so mighty and hide of themselves or something.
And to be fair, as the horse scene showed, simply connecting your tendril does not automatically mean the animal will listen to and obey you, considering how his horse bucked him off even after he connected tendrils.
Welcome back to my vlog.
Hello, my name is Sam Worthington, and welcome to day one of
I'm still trapped on the set eating veggies. James Cameron will not give me a fucking potato and burger.
Oh, okay. Now, while I do see that nobody seems to regret their time on this movie, I do wonder, was there anyone who went insane from not being able to have meat the entire time?
Oh, there you go. Now he's learning Navi-ish.
Naughty.
Welcome to Avatar movie. So that's probably where they'd see it.
Also,
we are creatures known as the naughty.
Also, we're having a montage without an actual song under it. What is this blasphemy?
It's like two worlds, one family.
No.
Yes.
That's Pronto. That's exactly what they're doing.
Okay, let me instead question something on my own with the biological design of some of these creatures. Not everyone seems to have it, but mostly the steeds that the Navi tend to use. Some other animals seems to do it, but it's not seem to be a thing common to all the native species of Pandora. For some reason, they have these breathing apparatus where they expel the excessive air, the gas that they don't need in their lungs, from protrusions in their body. Kind of like it's supposed to be a car or something, instead of, using their mouth like normal breathing for, like, say, the human. Feels weird.
In the meantime, I still don't know anything about Materia except for the fact that she's Warrior Pocahontas. I still don't know anything about Jake except for the fact that he's the
Protagakun.
a man, I guess, in a movie. Like,
I guess we're supposed to be relatable to Jack because we are learning about this world. The problem is that Jack is kind of a not necessarily much of an asshole, but that kind of bit that makes me not really connect with him.
My issue.
Are you referring to Jake?
But he's also very, very stupid.
Wait, are you referring to Jake when you say Jack?
Our protagonist, Jova, sorry.
I mean, funnily enough, it wouldn't be the first time that James Cameron has had a protagonist named Jack.
He is the Avatar. Anyway, now my issue is how, okay, yes, world building is nice and all, but it's hard for me to care about a world if I don't care about the people in it. And so the world building aspect should be the bonus to complement the character development, not just the be all end all of a movie like this size.
Oh, I definitely do agree with you. Like I said, while this movie does excel in world building, lore, and definitely convincing you that you're in a whole new world for the time it came out, a lot of other stuff does feel weaker as a result. Like, it feels like James Cameron was focused mainly on the world here. And you know what? Kudos to him. Yes, you definitely made this world here. But the characters themselves do kind of suffer in there. Aw, look at that, he's bonding with Ripley.
While he's
Oh.
also bonding
Whoa,
with,
whoa, 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 whoa! Careful, girl. You don't want to make his other arrow rise.
I feel like this movie, if he really wanted to just create the experience of being in an alien world, I feel like making this movie more of a 2001 style experience would have been a better idea than just try to actually have characters.
I do get what you mean. The anthology sort of route would have definitely have helped out with this.
Like, literally have the movie take us like on an actual experience through the world of Pandora, and not even bother with story or characters. Just go full 2001 on this motherfucker.
I love how she seems proud of him for managing to kill that thing. But it's okay, he said thank you. Now you can.
So basically, what you're telling me, Nitiri, is that it's okay for me to kill animals as long as I apologize.
Okay,
And
don't...
again, supposedly only when it's extremely necessary, like when the tribe really needs it or something.
Supposedly James Cameron was basing this on the indigenous people and how, there were some tribes that would pay thanks to the animals that they killed and whatnot, so...
Circle of life and shit.
Yeah. That said, yeah, I could easily see this being a world for Kingdom Hearts later down the line.
Also, Nitiri told him that he's ready. Does that mean that he can now paint with all the colors in the wind?
Those days are behind us.
Yeah, and the last thing I want is for someone in this movie to start to sing.
That's the thing too. This movie's so juvenile that they might as well at this point.
Can you imagine the characters just break into song?
I can just imagine the song now. I can just imagine the song now. We're as blue as the sky and as pure as the air.
Exactly the kind of lyrics I would expect in a song in this movie, Dwebs, actually.
The rest I'll leave up to one of you guys. Oh, no, I got the rest of that bit. You may need this rock, but we just don't care.
That one doesn't work as well.
I was. I'll leave it up to you guys to come up with a better one. The first, work off the first two lines, then that's it.
Come on, Jake.
Pretty. I mean, that's kind of all I can really say about the movie, really. It's pretty. And even then, some things have aged. Like, if this movie is like the epitome of style over substance, well, okay, if we counted, the actual world building itself as substance, then, yeah, I guess technically, but nah, even with the world building, while the world building is good, I do feel like the film could have been a lot more focused.
It's also the fact. Sorry, go on. Sorry.
I do feel like it might have been even better if the film had focused a lot of its storytelling in the world building, which technically it does, until it doesn't. You'll see.
There's also
what
the
I
fact,
mean.
Jova, considering it uses plots that we have seen a gajillion times already, I think a potential solution to that might have been if the movie did not took itself 100% seriously. Sadly, the environmental message make it so that the movie have to. Come on, you can do it.
Whoop. Slightly now, carefully now.
Be careful not to fall and stuff.
Choose one. Anyone.
Gotta be careful not to fall off here.
And try not to get eaten in the process.
Be true to your heart. You must be true to your heart. God, I forget which Disney song and movie that was
Yeah.
from.
That's your one-liner for that.
Nope.
I love how the reaction of these creatures is mild annoyance. They're not even like very clear superiority number, and they don't even try to attack you. You know that most of these are supposed to be like cubs, so like younglings of the species, but it's kind of stupid.
Yucky, get away.
I mean, well, actually, we recently watched Watchmen, like for example, which was a much better movie that came out in the same year. That movie is a razor sharp focus on its characters and fleshing them out and showing who they are and what makes them tick.
To be fair, mostly because the actual war being is not that much different from our timeline, with only one or two key differences. So most people going into it have already a basis to go through.
Let me see what fantasy movies came out around that time.
If anything, this is a process more similar to stuff like, say, Lord of the Rings.
Well, there you go. There's another one.
Okay, here's another thing that we watched recently is the Good Times jet lag version of Hercules, and it seems that it's like much like here, the solution for everything is strangling stuff.
Or maybe not.
Okay, let me check who plays the asshole. Let's see. I think it's Laz Alonso.
Yeah. Las Alonso.
Apparently, it seems that he plays a character in the Fast and Furious movies. Let me see.
Another one in this movie that has a connection to Fast and Furious.
Huh.
Although his role seems to be uncredited. Apparently, he's a character called Phoenix in Fast and Furious 6.
I think he was one of the bad guys, maybe?
I don't know. You guys watch that.
Oh crap, Jovi, you know what's sad?
What?
This film came out the same year as Fast and Furious. Much better
Yeah,
movie.
actually, he was in that one. Apparently, the character of Phoenix was in that movie.
Well, yeah. Well, talking about other. Oh, yeah. Well, there's another one. Well, but it pretty much is a sci-fi, despite being a cartoon. This was also the
Astro
year
Boy.
that, the David Bowe's Astro Boy movie, and that movie has some really good world building to itself as well.
Why did that?
It introduced something that wasn't in the manga. The whole city in the upwards and
the city of the sky and the city of the down
the trunk below.
So that allowed for a more diversity in the locations, and by staying true to the themes of family from the manga, it did a good job in providing a good balance of both.
Anyway, Jover, it's like I was saying, I think that it's sad this film was better than Fast and Furious.
Wait. Oh, wait, are you... Wait, hold on, what about Fast and
Furious? The fourth movie, the one that came out in 2009, Jover.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of agree with you, Dwibs. I would take this movie over that Fast and Furious movie. That one was... Ugh. I'll just say this. How do you make a Fast and Furious movie worse than Tokyo Drift? The one that, the one that's popular to hate.
Well, I mean, I still think Tokyo Drift's a bit worse. That's not to say that Fast and Furious is that much better.
I guess the thing about Fast and Furious, and by that we are talking about the fourth movie, Tio, it's just the fourth movie is called Fast and Furious.
Oh, no, I know that, Jova. I also know that Deji seems to be disagreeing with you, so that's interesting.
Another thing about this movie is that the overall plot itself goes by in a so completely by the motions fashion. Like you can see every plot beat coming a million miles away because the movie doesn't ever mix up the formula in any interesting way.
So what you're
It's
saying is that this is a movie that could have used subversion.
well, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I understand. The whole aversion to subversion that's going on right now. But that doesn't mean that a movie that's literally nothing but the most cliche things ever made is we're literally jumping from one extreme to the other. We need a
Oh.
balance.
And
I
you know-
guess in
and you
a
know-
way
and
I
you know,
start to
it's-
understand why these might have sold. It appeals to a lot of common denominators, which might attract a lot of casual viewers.
And to be fair, at this point in time, the whole subversion thing hadn't gotten to be as loathed as it is now. Like, back then, it was relatively welcome. And like I said, this movie, I can easily see why this movie made the big bucks, okay? It had a lot going for it. Like, don't get me wrong, while the plot is by no means remarkable, it's not like it's like, a god-awful plot or anything. Like, it's not like I can go on and on and on about how, oh, this is terrible or the worst thing I've ever seen before. Like, it's relatively... Eh?
No, I mean, in terms of not great films making a lot of money, this is far, far low. This is so low on the totem pole, it's barely on the pole.
Oh, yeah, seriously, look, we make fun of this movie, but at the end of the day, it's not like it does anything horrendous.
Oh no. I know. Mostly, I'm just kind of bored by it because, by the time you reach the 30-minute mark, you already know exactly where the movie's going.
Fun fact,
So,
actually.
Okay, I know you're about to say 30 hours by accident, but by the time this series ends, it might end up being 30 hours long.
Fun fact, actually, the first time I ever saw this movie, I fell asleep around, the 40-minute mile mark of it. Granted, I was, I don't know how old at the time when I saw it.
In terms of just watching it, this movie for me gets better in the second half because in the second half is where the movie completely, like Jova said, drops the world building thing and just goes full Ferngully on our asses and just stops being incredibly cheesy and over the top with its message.
Which, yeah, don't get me wrong, don't like, but in a way, it becoming that silly and so full of itself kind of helps you laugh at it better.
It's mostly because while the world building in this movie is nice enough, I don't know. I've seen much more interesting worlds in movies, to be honest with you. This movie, I don't find this world to be all that interesting to me.
Let me put it like this. The spectacle of this world was, at the time, this is arguably one of the most groundbreaking worlds in film here and there. It was the first time you ever saw a film director go to this many lengths here and there. Sort of like what he did with Terminator, the first time you saw effects of that level, and then Terminator 2. Oh, right, speaking of, it's time to get a bit of lore about that demon that attacked him.
Hence the last shadow.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially, this thing is like the great legendary beast that absolutely no one has ever been able to ride.
And no one will ever be. Absolutely no one.
Ever.
For no reason in the world.
He's just that tough.
It's the time of the first songs.
Now wake up.
Wake
Oh,
up,
yeah.
get up, get out.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
was this Pedro's reaction?
No, actually.
If anything, that would have been
When
my...
you saw this in the cinema, I mean.
That was
Okay.
more like Jova's reaction, like he said.
And, to be fair, when I saw this, it was on DVD with the fam. I sadly did not get to see this in IMAX, which from what I've heard was the definitive way to watch it.
I mean, I do have a cinema within half an hour to 40 minutes away from me that has an IMAX screen, but I don't think it was.
Oh,
I
but
think
look at that, guys.
It wasn't around in 2009.
I don't know who
He's
I am
starting to
anymore.
lose his identity.
At this point, I just love being a Navi so much. But here's the thing, I'll tell you, Jova, the 3D in this movie is good, but I will say in the next year, How to Train Your Dragon 1 had much better 3D actually.
Oh,
But Avatar, not
wait,
even once.
oh, wait, hold on. So you saw this movie in 3D?
I did, yes.
Yeah, it mentioned
So
it.
how?
Remember, Joe, 3D was all the rage back then.
How? Okay, so you say that the 3D in this movie was good. How good a job of immersing people into it would you say?
Well, mostly whenever they're riding the flying creatures, you know? Although, like I said, I actually think How to Train Your Dragon 1 did that better, to be honest with you.
Hey, but guys, how about Last Airbender's 3D?
No.
That was a cheap conversion.
How about My Bloody Valentine 3D, Drover?
This movie was actually shot in 3D.
Hey!
I forgot about. Yeah, we forgot about this. I think if he does his mission properly, he'll get mechanical legs so he can walk again.
He'll become Star Fox.
And now he's got corporate approval, but wait, first he's got to finish this. There's one more thing.
There's one more. Yeah, so wait, by corporate approval, you mean Fox, or does he have to wait 10 years for Disney?
Yes.
I see this in no way causing you to eventually switch sides, even though you're talking even
there you
more
go.
and more about becoming one of them.
Oh, there you go. See, he's asking. I can help them relocate. That way, we don't have to kill him.
But this displeases the military man.
And I was so looking forward to killing some aliens. You see what I mean? You see what I mean?
Okay, that's one thing that I've learned from the commentary that you guys did about Gemini Man, from One Dweeb's line. I can't believe this script was written in 1994.
This script feels like it came out of the 90s as well. Actually.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, James Cameron started working this in the 90s, so I get the idea most of core plot points were, reflecting stuff around that time.
James, you could have, over the years retouched the script, Just saying.
Remember, guys, the main reason
That's the thing, Pedro. What if this is the retouched version?
Damn.
Oh.
Seriously?
So we might have gotten something that was even sillier. Aw, look at that.
The Navi might have been called something on the nose.
Oh, so how nice. Sigourney Weaver's character is proud.
One of us. One of us.
Are you referencing that Recess episode?
Well, there's the one of us thing was already a thing before.
Yeah, I know. That's the one I know it from the most.
To think
Oh
that...
boy, time for the sex scene. However, since this is Navi sex, it's completely family friendly. Don't worry, everybody.
But don't worry.
Is it like Vulcan sex, where the most they do is touch fingers?
No, it's slightly less family friendly in the sense that they just take their hair and they just they touch together and that's it, basically.
But Pedro, what about the sex in the extended version?
I don't remember if there's any difference, and quite frankly, I don't care.
But don't you want to see two blue cat people doing it in the woods?
No, thank you.
What? Oh, and here I thought that was everyone's biggest fantasy.
Oh, am I just in time for the sex scene?
Yeah, yes. This is another thing that I don't. Yeah, this is exactly the kind of thing that I just don't like. This whole, our way of communicating with nature is by literally putting our hair in the tree, the souls thingy.
Okay, my questioning behind it, I already mentioned how I'm more okay with this. My questioning is, aside from the actual connection that gets established, shouldn't those be kind of like of a nervous system, meaning that you get to feel? Even by standing in the air, you get to feel, something. Shouldn't you be more annoyed by that or something? I don't know.
But actually, back to the sex scene. Okay, so this is the Tree of Souls, right? So this is their most sacred place. This is a very important place that should not be defiled. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna have sex in here because apparently.
Well, don't you see, Pedro? In this world, having sex is not defiling the place, but giving more life to it.
Well, okay. To be fair, I guess I can actually agree with that sentiment.
Again, the Navis have all
Um,
these things about being as part of nature, as part of the ecosystem as possible, being an integral part of a war. So I get the idea that being as close as possible to that, is considered the highest peak.
So basically, it would be okay to have the Tree of Souls full of Navi splooge. Okay,
Yes.
get it.
Well,
I
hey,
feel bad for the janitor who had to clean up, but sure.
actually,
Remember, there's no janitor to clean it up. There's no need. It's cool. It's great to have splooge all over.
Actually, that's a good question, Dave's.
Hmm?
What was the rating of this?
I think it's
ooh.
like 12. I think.
Wait a minute.
BBFC 12, yeah.
So how do they reproduce?
I don't know, and quite frankly, I'm not interested in knowing the
Actually,
details.
I think I know. Don't they connect each cable?
Well, I know that, but
I get the
Java said reproduce. So, do they actually give birth like a human would? Or is it or are they actually born like plants? Or I don't even understand how. Whatever. Since you're all about the world building, James, you could explain that.
Maybe it
Okay,
was
we do
explained
see.
in the extended
Remember,
cut.
they did showcase photographs. We do see.
Oh. Hold on, too, because we're in the halfway point of the movie.
Yeah, I
which
remember
means-
that.
All right, everybody. All that world building, yeah, we're pretty much done with it. From this
No,
point on, this is
nature!
It's wartime.
from this point on, this is literally straight up Dances with Wolves.
Anyway, no. Remember, we did see. We did saw scenes, photographs with young, Navis, and they did mention that they kind of cultivated the hybrids in embryo.
Mm-hmm.
Also, James, mate, you have this all environmental message, but I do wonder how many takes did it require for you to use that kind of machinery, which clearly consumed a lot of gasoline.
Also, guys,
Maybe it was CGI'd? I don't know.
He's sort of out of it because Jake's taking a bit of time to get into his body. Oh no.
Not even just that. Okay. Are the 3 months over?
I get the feeling it's just the
didn't-
military.
We did get a montage, Pedro. of him actually making progress. Probably.
I get that, but they didn't. Okay, I was under the impression that we still had a couple more days, though. See,
Well, is this a bad time?
You see how evil we are.
Yes, wave your hands in front of them. I'm sure they'll listen to you.
The double take.
You see.
A funky chicken.
Again, it looks
Yes.
it looks like discount American Simon Pegg.
Yes. Murder him, but run over him.
Like I
Yes.
said, this guy is easily the most cartoony fellow in the bunch, and that is no small feat against the Colonel guy.
Again, the more the movie passes, the more I can believe this was actually scriptured in the 90s.
Dude, no, I was just trying to wreck your environment.
Man, when you came and shit.
This is what you get for trying to resolve things peacefully.
I mean, we could have maybe established a good trade with these people, but no.
No, Jova, remember, apparently the military just wants to
Jova-
really kill something.
But Jova, how would we reinforce the idea that militarism is evil if we don't do that? Exactly. Don't you feel bad, Dibs? Don't you feel bad
boy.
for all the plants or flowers that you might have stepped on at some point in your life?
Also, CSI enhancements.
All boy, Sergeant McFuck is mad. Yay! Remind me, what was the name of
Oh?
Pocahontas' original fiancé?
Cocoon.
Kokum? Something like that. This guy's basically the Kokum of this.
Pretty much. It pretty much even has the same kind of characterization. He's supposed to be, the groom-to-be, and he has a very strong attitude and wants to be the next to guide the tribe.
Oh.
How about that?
Wait, you can sense that? Ooh.
So yeah, Jova, you were talking about how the Navi come out as dicks. I'm gonna have to add to what you're saying, because Neytiri all of a sudden is kind of a bitch when you get right down to it. She's literally a line cheating bitch, because she didn't even bother, at the very least, she didn't even think of her fiance while she was boning Jake. Like,
And
seriously.
she made it with Jake. Like, they made
And
it hard.
I don't think she told him about that.
No. He literally just found. Oh, we did it. It's done. Like, seriously.
Like, damn.
Okay. I get. Okay. No, okay. I'm sorry. I get different cultures and aliens and races and all that shit, but seriously, are you telling me that it's not even considered common courtesy over here to, at the very least, hey, dude, I'm fell in love with this guy. I don't think we can be engaged anymore. Not even that.
I wouldn't be able to tell if it's common courtesy given how her fiance reacted upon that news. Like,
yeah,
damn.
exactly. Like, seriously, Neytiri suddenly just kind of comes off as a line cheating whore, to be honest with you.
Oh dear.
Oh, it's like the Matrix now.
Well, to be fair, remember, like, Matrix was one of the influences of this, clearly.
Oh snap.
A demon in a false body.
No, that's my Perkuloin.
All right, then you're banished.
Damn, like, she is willing to die for that man. Like, not only does she admit to her fiance that she slept and mated with him, now she's protecting him from it.
Oh, you did it first.
Wheel this meat out of here. Like,
What kind of cup is that?
I mean, for as one-dimensional bad guys as you are, that is technically kind of what happened.
Shut your pie hole.
Wouldn't that be considered a crime, Colonel?
I mean, isn't that...
You are aware that you are not above the law, right?
I mean, doesn't she outrank you?
Not even just that, Libs. Not even just that, Libs. Like I said, last I checked, military command... Oh, hold on. Out of this one. Is it here? Out of this one.
Midichlorians?
Basically, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah.
As I say, wouldn't that be considered treason?
Yes, it would.
Hence why also the Navis can connect with everything
They
with their...
can upload and download data.
Again, in a biological way instead of being mechanical.
There you go.
You literally financed this mission!
Wait. Okay, with all respect, economic douche nozzle, you're on an alien world that has an atmosphere that you humans cannot breathe.
Like, if you really want to be that cartoonishly and, transparent with your motivation, why even trying to listen them in the first place? Go ahead from day one.
Yeah, seriously. If clearly both douche nozzle and military douche fuck wanted to go the aggressive route all along, so I even bothered with the first. Seriously, by all extents accounts, the first half of this movie shouldn't even be a thing.
Okay,
Like, are also Sadies to enjoy creating false hope in order to crush it?
okay, so to be fair, their reason they sent him in was so that they could learn the lay of the land, pretty much work out the terrain for the human expedition and all that. And to eventually, I guess, get them to agree to that here and there.
Oh yeah, there's another thing. Jake is a fucking moron. Did you not think that spilling out the beans in your vlogs would backfire on you? You are aware that those things were being saved by by your superiors, right? You fucking idiot.
Minimal casualties. How nice.
Yeah, that's not.
That's not evil enough, though.
Yeah, we need to be more particular.
Oh, hey, Michelle.
Michelle is wasted in this movie, to be honest. Like her.
Hey, so to place your bets.
I'm with Sigourney on this one. Pass me the glass.
She was in more of this than she was in Fast and...
Yeah.
So, guys, place your bets. Will Michelle Rodriguez's character live or die by the end of this movie?
Okay, let me see if she casted for the sequel. But
That's
again, if I recall correctly, all actors who have been in this movie are casted for the sequels, even though some of them die. So I'm questioning how it will show up.
Five-bitten savages, you moron. These people know...
What Hollywood thinks racists are.
So basically, Jova, what he's saying is they're savages.
And not like you and me, and so they must be evil.
No, actually, no. He's the innocent who would say that. As for the Navi would go, they're different than us, which means they can't be trusted.
Hey, maybe he might be seeing sense at last.
At least it's something.
Oh boy, time for the liar reveal.
Wait. Why are you telling them this now?
Not just that, you literally did not have any reason to do it.
Yeah, he had no reason to hide this in the first place, actually.
This is... God. So, a liar reveal
It was done just because James Cameron knew that this was a formula that happened, so...
Again, a script written in the 90s suddenly started making all sense.
It's a bit that people hate for a good reason. Yes, it can be done well. But more often than not, it's something that seizes the plot, causes the characters to not trust each other, and then a lot of times makes things tougher than they need to be. And here, he literally didn't have to mention that they sent him. He should have known.
It's literally there just for the sake of it.
You will never be one of the people. Totally, yeah. And look, and now they don't trust Grace either. Seriously, you would have had them. You would have had them listening to you if you hadn't revealed that the Sky People sent you. Why did you do that, you moron?
Not even just that, Jova. Like we've said, Jova, he could have just told that he was sent by the Sky People off in the beginning of the movie, because last I checked, there was he's drinking his coffee.
Again, can we go back to the war building? At least the mood was more tolerable back then.
Like, at least...
Sorry, Tara, we dropped it.
Oh, by the way, wait till you see what Michelle Rodriguez calls her helicopter thing.
Oh no.
Mind, it's not like the Na'vi are that much smarter.
No, they're not. But worse.
Oh yeah, sure. A bunch of alien creatures armed with sticks and arrows against an army of trained soldiers and helicopters.
I mean, it worked in Amazon's attacks for some reason.
And
Yeah, but this
people
isn't
hated it.
Amazon's attack.
And to be fair, they had a deadly bee weapon.
Peace, my god.
Brilliant observation, my dude.
Hey, Pedro,
Yes.
that's a lot of fish.
Basically, yeah.
Wow.
Well, it's even though it's not been an hour yet. From what I'm looking at it, yeah, diplomacy failed.
You know,
Okay.
actually, you know what this is? These military people? This is the kind of military group that Small Soldiers was essentially parodying with the toy line of the actual, military guys.
Pretty much.
Yeah, well, P Small Soldiers was a good movie.
Sorry, Dweebs?
P Small Soldiers wasn't a good movie.
I enjoyed it.
Hey. Oh no, our arrows are useless against freaking steel.
Well, to be fair, I don't think they have a way of knowing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I'm siding with the evil colonel here.
And to be fair, he's not firing at them directly, more so places around them.
No.
I mean, okay, look, don't get me wrong. What they're doing is evil, but the Na'vi are out to straight on kill. Oh, but the tree.
See?
Yeah, the Na'vi stupidity they kind of brought themselves.
Jesus Christ.
Could you be a bit more on the nose, please?
Well, we could have an Irish woman singing in the background to add to the drama.
Oh, don't worry, Jova. We're gonna bring that at some point, if I remember correctly. Oh yeah, and remember to the theme song for this movie was played by Leona Lewis.
I forgot there's a theme song here.
Yeah, there's a theme song that plays in the credits, and it's performed by Leona Lewis.
She was popular at the time, so that makes sense. Was trying to... whatever. Okay, James, you haven't watched Apocalypse Now. Like, the people who made Apocalypse Now knew and understood what the military did, how they spoke, how they enjoyed what they were doing, Like,
I saw the director's...
you don't, clearly.
I even saw the director's cut of Apocalypse Now.
Was it good?
It's
Yeah.
Okay, I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the
story,
director's cut,
Actually-
but, even the base movie was fine for me.
Interesting thing, Jova. That was actually part of my
Oh
film
my
studies bit at university.
Oh, but guys, look at this. Michelle Rodriguez's character didn't sign up for this crap.
There you go. That's the perfect way right there. Bring shit up while drinking his cup of coffee.
President Shinra just quietly listened to classical music while the Sector 7 plane was being, dropped.
When you
Or if I don't know, if Seth to Evanescence on his iPod while stabbing Aerith or something.
No, again, like I said, this situation is more comparable to the Sector 7 falling plate.
He even as he jumps from up high, about to stab Aerith, he's humming "Bring Me to Life" as he descends.
Oh,
You're
snap.
joking, but one of the videos that I actually did watch in the early years of YouTube was an AMV about the FMVs of Final Fantasy IX with Bring Me to Life in the background.
Yes!
No.
Timber!
That's a giant timber.
Look at look at that. This is exactly what happens when humans, mess with nature. See how horrible
We
it is?
literally bombed the shit out of a tree.
Look at what we've become.
Yes.
But guys, it's okay because Michelle Rodriguez's character pulled away at the last minute saying that she didn't sign up for this.
But hang on, doesn't that mean they're gonna shoot her down?
That would be nice, but the movie didn't really bother to give her a character up until this point. So
Well, that's
it's
the
kinda
thing-
hard for me.
Okay, if I recall correctly, one of you did ask if we saw an actual human killing a Navi in this movie. I get the idea that this kind of counts for some.
I don't
That's the
think
thing,
they're...
That's the thing, too. We never actually see a dead Navi body at all.
Okay,
We did see one when they buried one, but other than this...
Not just that. Not just that. We do see, some actually getting crushed by the tree.
We did?
Yes.
Did we?
I don't know.
Yes.
Well, whatever. Fine. That's okay then.
Oh, wait. I love this bit coming up.
See, look at what we've become.
Seriously. What? Okay. I question the logic. Why do you have commerce in this operation?
Because it's
Like,
a
why do you need
job
coin
well
in this operation?
Seriously, why even bother bringing scientists along if you were just gonna go this route anyway?
This is the kind of war building question that I actually gonna be a bit pedantic on. The idea that they have this kind of one-liner without actually thinking about it. Also, yes, I forgot that the father dies.
Take
Okay.
my bow and avenge me. I will, Mama. I will.
Wait a minute. Okay, so... I don't see any other bodies, though. Was he legit the only one who got killed around here?
By a splinter, mind you, nonetheless.
And then I guess she's like, no, this is all your... Be gone.
Okay, don't remember this.
Ah.
It's partially still your fault, though.
I mean,
right?
he did try to warn you and get you out of there beforehand.
Sure. I can understand that he worded it in the worst possible way, but it's about coming together on that kind of front.
Oh my God! Even corporate douche nozzle
As a one moment of humanity. Oh no, actually, he's referring to the program. Okay, forgot.
Oh.
What?
Did she just shoot him? There's that Irish woman singing in the background.
Dramatic slow-mo.
Was that Ripley talking
So
to the people who murdered the Alien series?
So, Drips, have I rammed this into your head hard enough?
Yeah, but I get the idea that Lewis has become Peanut at this point. Actually, that's a good question. We know about the box office, but this movie actually was candidated and/or won awards.
It won for Best Visual Effects, if I remember correctly. It was nominated for Best Director and Best Movie. Let me check.
Let's see.
Accolades, there we are. Oh man, we have a lot of things to look on.
Excuse me, ma'am. Aren't you supposed to be on trial for desertion?
Okay,
Yeah, about that.
I will mention it only in numbers because there's way too much to go through. The movie was nominated for a total of 148 awards and won 73.
I'm guessing a lot of those awards had to do with visuals and makeup and
Probably.
whatnot.
Out of these, only was nominated for 9 at the Academy Awards and won only 3. Let me see if it's mentioned.
So, of course, Michelle Rodriguez's character, the one soldier who didn't fire on the natives, is, of course, the one who helps them out.
There you go. Best art direction, best cinematography, and best visual effects. Which, to be fair, yes, I can definitely see that.
It's interesting too because around this was 2009 was actually the first year ever where the Academy Awards had expanded the Best Picture nomination for 10 spots instead of just 5, because there was a backlash in 2008 about how certain movies like WALL-E and Dark Knight were not nominated, and as a result, the Academy expanded the nomination list. Basically.
Let me see what was the competition.
If I remember correctly, the best movie of 2009 was that got the award was 2009. Which ones were done in 2009?
Actually, that's exactly what I'm checking. Don't worry.
I know Up was nominated but didn't win. But
okay, Best Picture instead was won by The Hurt Locker. Sure.
Sure.
Well, to be fair, Pedro, one competitor was The Blind Side, so there is that.
Oh no! I'll take that. Fine, much over. I'll happily. He really went on without the mask, and he's holding his breath. Okay, no.
Obsessed.
That's no.
Again, these guys are fucking walk. This is a walking cartoon.
He really is. He really is. But anyway.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, Sigourney Weaver is being wounded.
But yeah, like I was saying, no, that's fine. Like, I'll still take that over The Blind Side and District 9.
Well, two other, two other movies that had been, nominated, that I think probably deserved a bit better were Inglourious Basterds and Up. So.
Oh no, Inglourious Basterds definitely. So.
Oh, Inglourious Basterds, that came out in 2009.
But whatever, I'll mention more about the awards in the final thoughts mine as well.
Mm-hmm. There's another movie we need to watch, The Blind Side, because
you guys
didn't
already
we commented
did that.
on that?
Yes.
Oh, we did.
Yes.
It was
I don't even remember. I don't even remember.
I'll check later who was in that.
I remember hating it. I think it was you, me, and Dwight.
And quite frankly, I personally don't have any much interest in watching that.
Or District 9?
No, but The Blind Side.
Basically,
I actually would be interested to see stuff like District 9 or Human Droid, because actually I don't think I ever saw those.
Human what now?
That's the Italian name given to Chappie, because apparently in my country the name Chappie can be associated with a word that we use to describe buttocks.
Ah, yes, Chappie, the movie that drove Dwibs to drink.
Well, here's the basic gist of it too. In District 9, we literally use a PlayStation 4 to transfer a human's consciousness into a robot.
No, I know that.
That's Chappie where that happens, not District 9. District 9 is the one where that guy turns into
You're right. Chappie.
District 9 is the one where Sharkle Copley apparently eats something to gain their DNA.
Sure, I know. I'm sorry, too. I usually confuse those two movies because they're practically the same bloody movie.
I'd say this, Elysium was the best of the trilogy.
Yeah, but Elysium was boring, if you ask me.
And that's sad. That it's a film that has people like Matt Damon and other people in it. And yet the best thing in the movie was Sharlto Copley having it up as the bad guy.
Mm-hmm. But Liz, what about this Chappie, where you get some really good glances at Hugh Jackman's back once in a while?
Oh yeah, Hugh Jackman was in that movie.
But Pedro, stuff Hugh Jackman. We need to give most of our screen time to that band who can't act.
Yay.
There you go. Apparently, you three actually did that. Jova, Peter, and Waves.
I thought
Yeah,
so.
and I was drunk near the second half of
I
it.
was talking about Blindside.
Oh, well, I thought you were on about chat.
Anyway, let's get back to this. So yeah, one last attempt to see if.
And how did Jake get back into his
Look
body,
at
you may
that.
wonder?
Look
Well,
what it's become of the
Okay,
floor.
you should be coughing probably a lot more, considering you were exposed to the ashes.
Can we please stop this dialogue? I'm getting nauseous here.
Yeah, the dialogue in this
is the
movie
pretentiousness getting to you?
Okay,
Yeah,
at
it's
the
like-
very least, he doesn't want
yeah.
to fuck a tree like in that
wonder-
Frank Miller movie.
No wonder-
Honestly, at least...
The wonder Alita Battle Angel got on my nerves at times. It was the dialogue.
Oh boy.
And remember, James Cameron co-wrote that movie.
But at least the dragon still cares for him.
So what I calculate now, I think Jake has a plan.
Yeah, this is another problem I have as well. Like again, the movie treats him as the movie treats him as way too much of a special snowflake. Like he managed to do something that no other Navi has done for a long
Yeah,
time.
this
and it does it with such an ease and very little difficulty.
yeah, this is arguably one of the more one of the more controversial aspects of a movie when you get down to it. The guy that is not even part, originally part of the war, managed to accomplish this thing flawlessly and saves the day for the poor innocent tribesman.
I mean, you can make an argument that maybe it was really hard for him, but again, we never see any of it.
Okay.
Not just that.
Wait.
I can understand that it wasn't done with malicious intent. Sadly, what instead it's coming across is,
Okay.
it's... Yes,
Okay.
Joe?
I can forgive this kind of plot if they have a good reason for it. Like, let's say as part of their tradition, or, it's because of the way that they think on some matters that they weren't able to tame this one, and it takes somebody with out-of-the-box thinking to get it. That said, though, the way he did it was just jumping off another Ikran onto this guy.
Yeah, we saw it happening off screen. Okay, granted, for all we know, that's actually what happens in the extended cut. We actually get to see the taming, but...
I don't remember. I don't remember that being even a thing, but whatever.
Oh, snap.
Yes, there you go. Now you guys have the ultimate evidence that I'm the super special chosen one, so obey me this time. And this immediately makes all of them forgive him.
Of course.
Oh my god, you're so awesome. I'd even let my wife sleep with you now, sir.
Yes, never mind the fact that you tricked us, you lied to us, you betrayed
And you're
us.
technically not even on the same species.
But Tia, what if we had a ritual that could officially make him pure on Navi that we just haven't heard of yet? It would be crazy, wouldn't it?
And yeah, that's also the name of the theme song. I see you.
I see you. I
I
feel
see you, I see-
Wait a minute. Does Celine Dion sing that one as well?
No, Pedro mentioned it's
I know. Oh, Leona Lewis. My hands.
like he said, she was popular at the time, so it makes sense for them. It was again the same logic that Square Enix applied in including that song at the end of FF13. Popular singer, let's just slap it on.
Senpai noticed me.
But I still tame the bigger bird, so...
Yes, talk Mach to what?
What to do then?
So there you go. Now we're going to do this super special, awesome ritual, like Jova said, to permanently transfer Grace's consciousness into the Navi body.
And Grace had to be naked for this because...
Okay, to be fair, Jova, that actually is a reason. Apparently the roots of the tree are going to connect to her body.
Again, it's the whole thing that we kept saying, that the ecosystem of Pandora is structured more like one set of nerves and a human brain, meaning that everything is connected, it can be connected at any moment.
Well, I guess to give her credit, she does still look good for her age.
That's fine, Jova. See? That being said, though, wow, how incredibly convenient that the Tree of Souls happens to possess this skill.
Ah, but she has to pass through the Eye of Iwa and return.
And if I recall correctly, as we described, it's a thing that they never tried, at least not in in large quantity, mostly because they did not really have a reason to perform that.
Doesn't this... So, there's a way to transfer someone's body into a Navi body, I guess?
A soul into a body, that's the idea.
Get Shunsun to help you guys.
This seems like it could be very useful for a lot of things. Like, imagine if they need to revive an old general of theirs or something. Just have someone volunteer for their body to be used and...
To be fair, as we mentioned, it's a process that has they couldn't test that much, and for all we know, has a high probability of failing.
Sure, yeah.
Well, to be fair, didn't she just say that the probability of failing was high because of the fact that Grace is weak?
That too, I think.
But like I said, no, it's still though. Yeah, talk about an incredible plot convenience. Yeah, they just happen to have this skill. Oh. Are you now? Well, it's a good thing this movie didn't bother to make the characters even remotely compelling.
And Sigourney Weaver dies, I think.
Wait.
That's okay.
But will she wake up in the other body?
Let's see. Nope.
Well...
So, here's my question. Why Sigourney Weaver casted for the sequels?
I don't know.
Maybe they'll... Maybe
it was really delayed, the process, I mean.
Maybe.
Like, are they gonna pull something out of their asses and say, no, the ritual just worked, they had a kind of a delay?
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I'm looking at a... I'm looking at a...
Sigourney Weaver doesn't have that much to do these days, but still...
I know I should feel sad, but I just can't get over the fact that I'm looking at naked Sigourney Weaver covered in grass follicles.
There's a very simple explanation for that, Jova. You see, since the movie didn't bother to actually make the characters even remotely interesting, we experienced no tension. You'll be fine.
I mean, I get it. He had formed a bond with Grace and they had become friends, but man, something about this all just feels silly. Now, I get... Yeah, over the course of the film. Now, I will say this, though. I am surprised that the movie didn't do the easiest route and actually have her survive thanks to it, because, it wouldn't have been that. So they actually did have her legit die and show that, oh, it's not just a simple fix-all. There are complications with it. So, I'll give them that for not going an easy cop-out. Oh yeah, there are other clans.
Oh, and by the way,
Remember, that's the excuse they pulled out.
Oh yeah, and by the way, since it's still nighttime, and that means we have some hours before the next battle. Shall we bring my body here so I can put myself in this body permanently? That would make the final fight easier. Maybe we should do that as well.
Let's wait until after the final battle.
But wouldn't that cause a liability because I would be endangering my human body?
Oh, come now. What are the chances they could pull you back into that umpteenth time?
Oh, it's a good thing to see. Well, I guess we can at the very least be thankful that the wire reveal thing was resolved quickly and easily.
I guess.
Again, to solve it quickly, just tame the giant pterodactyl bird, I guess.
Yes.
That's even terrible than the usual linear resolution. Usually, linear resolution is actually having the characters going to each other and saying, "Look, I think I was wrong. I judged you too harshly." Which, again, it still doesn't excuse the fact that the movie either just wasted our time with something super predictable, but at the very least, find something to amend to. Here, no, look, I tamed this giant bird, which in my country, mind you, this kind of thing is used to be compared essentially as having a giant dick. So it's even more insensitive by that front.
Don't you see, Tio? He has the biggest cock in the rooster hen.
Yeah, let's go with that.
What's these weird?
Of course.
analogies?
So basically, of course, do you know that this is war?
The fire tribe. The water tribe. Wait a minute. Also, the music sounds Pirates of the Caribbean-esque here.
Yeah, again, I gotta be honest. Again, I have respect for the composer, but the score of this movie is not. I'm not really feeling it. I get the idea that we're trying so hard, but it's just not fitting a lot of times.
James
Yeah.
Horner was usually much better at family-friendly films. Well,
Oh.
not that this one was not family-friendly. I mean, movies that clearly have that more. Films like look at Casper. I mean, Casper was not a very good movie, but James Horner's score is beautiful.
Okay. I'm just gonna say this: James Horner's score for Titanic is absolutely fantastic. Say what you will
Yeah,
about
that too.
say
Yeah,
what
that
you
too.
say what you will about the movie, but every single score in that soundtrack hits just
alright.
right.
Oh, let's listen to this. Most unorthodox.
But it's okay because we have bombs.
Oh, that is all kinds of wrong.
Truly a Frank Miller character.
So basically, what you're saying, Colonel, is that as long as we keep ourselves our preemptive attack skill on our skill tree, we should be fine.
So basically, Tio, you're saying this is the most Frank Miller-y thing not written by Frank Miller.
Yeah, I can think of more Frank Miller.
If anything, I wish the movie had. Look, I actually like the coloring, the palette used for the movie. But if we wanted to have a Frank Miller analogy, I would dig his legendary contrast. At least there is someone who's telling them what's happening.
Hell, if this was Frank Millerish, then the Jake's narrations would be repeating the same phrases over and over.
I have a date with a Navi. I have a date with a Navi. How
He
cool is that?
He'd probably have monologued over how the sex with her went. Our hair is connected.
Oh my god,
as
I
we
love my
eventually
tree. It's so beautiful.
No, Jay.
It's like my penis erected.
Allow me. Our hair is connected, like penis to vagina, blowing in the wind. We humped each other up against a tree, gathering on the rocks for better friction here.
Again,
I
Joe,
felt
you
myself
quoted the
get...
Paul
Dribs, you watched the spirit with us. That's part
it's
of the
not.
course.
No, Joe. No, he's not quoting anything. That's Frank Miller type dialogue bit right there.
Oh, I thought he was quoting. I thought Joe was just making up a porn parody for this film. I didn't think it was Spirits.
That's the thing with,
Trust me, Debs. Frank Miller does a great job of basically being a parody of himself.
Not even
And,
that.
I've seen The Spirit. I should know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep, we're gonna stop him. Us, a ragtag bunch with one ship and guys with arrows are going to beat the whole military.
Yeah, okay. My main issue with Sam Worthington is that he was quite like a lot of other actors at the time.
So
not really having much in the way of charisma.
So here's my
much of or much emotion on his face, and yet he kept getting these big roles for some reason.
And that's why you don't see him in movies anymore.
Well, he's going to be in the other Avatar movie.
Well, yeah, this is like the one last ditch to save his career, apparently.
Actually, no. Like I said, I think he's in this upcoming movie called Old Man. Let me see. Actually, no. Sorry. You were talking about Sam Worthington. My bad.
Hold on. Look. Oh, here. Oh, I actually have an advice for you, Jake. You know what you should do? You should ask your Navi friends, to bring your human body here, so I can bring you to your Navi body. That way, we'll make things much easier for the final battle. Maybe you should do that. There's your advice that you wanted. How about doing that? No? Well, yeah, I just told you. I just gave you the help that you need.
I think he wants some help with his third leg. Of course he doesn't take sides. So I
Yeah,
guess.
but there's not going to be much balance if the humans
Please tell me
wreck
the
everything.
Please tell me the Great Mother isn't as useless as Gaia from the Captain Planet cartoon.
She basically is, yes. The other thing she exists for, as far as this movie is concerned, Jova, is for body swapping.
And
Let's
sex,
see.
apparently.
Aside from the Avatar sequels, Sam Worthington is for in 3 upcoming movies. One of it's called Encanto. I don't know what that is. One of it is called. One of it is.
Go ahead. Sorry.
One of it is called the Georgetown Project, and one of it is called Lansky.
Okay. Was he in any other movies beyond 2009 aside from those?
Oh, plenty actually. Let me give you.
Anyway, Pedro, what were you saying about Encanto?
Encanto is the next movie by Disney Animation Studios. Is being made by the Zootopia directors with songs by Lin-Manuel Miranda. Yeah, and Miranda, and guess what, Joe? Miranda also worked on the story with the filmmakers. So should be fun.
Also,
oh no, sorry, I was getting mixed up. I thought it was one of the Zootopia directors who defected to Sony, but
Oh, that's Rich Moore.
Also, Joe, Sam Worthington was apparently Perseus, the protagonist of the 2010 Clash of the Titans movie. Last Night, Love and Distrust, The Depth, Texan Speeding.
Maybe he got.
Oh, I forgot. He was in the movie we commented on. It was in Sabotage.
oh,
The directors.
Sabotage.
Yeah,
The Skip Woods movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Great.
and David Ayer as well.
Arguably one of the worst Schwarzenegger movies out there.
Papa Dragon.
I want to be
okay.
something.
There's been
I'm all for military codes. I'm all for military codes, but that one is a bit ridiculous.
Maybe he should have gone by the name Papa Near.
No. Like, again, just Dragon 1 is fine for a military code name. Why Papa Dragon? Let's go overkilling.
Don't you see, too? He's a father to his men.
I actually wonder if part of his dialogue was improvised.
No, the directors that I was mentioning were Byron Howard, who was actually the one who had the original idea for Zootopia, and Jared Bush.
Okay. Rich Moore did. Rich Moore was involved in Zootopia.
Not just that, Jared Bush was a co-director on Moana, if I remember correctly. That's your favorite of the revival era.
Yeah. Then he worked on Ralph Breaks the Internet, and then he left for Sony.
No, I'm not talking about Rich Moore. I'm talking about Jared Bush. Jared Bush was Rich Moore did not work on Moana.
Alright. I mean, I did like Zootopia too.
So, we wanted to mention stuff that this movie is basically based on, and now we're gonna have the Battle of Endor from episode 6. Everyone's favorite.
Basically, Theo, in the same way that this year Pixar is doing their own Italy movie, Encanto is going to be a movie set in Colombia, of all countries. So, apparently it's going to be...
And I hope it's not one centered around a drug cartel.
I'm considering it's a Disney animated film. I'm pretty sure.
Can you even imagine the official Disney adaptation of the life of Pablo Escobar? Of course, it's the Flux. Yes, for Narnia and stuff.
For Pandora and the Tree of Souls, I guess.
Yeah, I got it. It's like, actually, though, these guys actually do go into war and yell for their entire town, as opposed to Return of the King, where they yell for just one person, even though he's really ineffective and his gardener does most of the hard lifting.
Mm-hmm.
For Frodo and that other guy. Yeah, poor Sam got no credit.
I also love how the militaries did not accounted for third dimension when it comes to attacking. Like, we were not seriously expecting them from coming from up above.
So, I'm just gonna mention this. So, Jake, you're all about how killing the Na'vi are wrong. Why are you all of a sudden okay with killing some of your fellow military men?
Because they're evil, Joe.
Of course.
Yeah, but are they really? Or are
They're
they
following
being...
orders. They're no more than beasts. So
What?
Whatever.
Like, okay, he knows who are the head honchos. Why not go after the head honchos first?
Jova, humans bad, Navi good. It's that simple.
Like, okay, it's like the script itself said. He literally got laid by one of the Na'vi, and ever since then, he pretty much has turned on humankind as a point. Like, was the sex that good, man?
I guess. Ooh.
I hope it helps you sleep at night after all that. Like, you're essentially slaughtering your fellow infantrymen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, at least with Dances with Wolves, you could get... Okay, it wasn't like Kevin Costner's character all of a sudden was all for killing what used to be his men. He just was all about helping the natives survive and make their way out. Like, it wasn't to this extent, dang.
Pursue and destroy, goddammit! Destroy!
You're not any better, Cartoon General.
Okay. Since I haven't seen it, I have to rely on you three. Between this and the Bayformers movie, choose the one that you think is more suited. Which is the one that you think is a more U.S. military commercial?
Well,
which Bayformers movie are you referring to?
yeah,
Take your pick, Jola, because I have no experience with any of them.
I will argue Revenge of the Fallen is probably the worst in that.
Yeah,
in that
definitely
regard.
Revenge of the Fallen would be the biggest of the Bayformers when it comes to being a U.S. military commercial.
I also love Joe that moment in Free, where wait,
hold on, guys, I gotta point this out.
Michelle Rodriguez.
And guess what? She painted her... gotta love
Scorpion.
how... she painted her scorpion so that, now they can easily tell who's working with you. But don't you see, it's to show that she now works with them. She even face painted her face blue. God damn it. And of course, now she names her scorpion Rogue One. Hey, you know it's fitting, just like the characters. Yes. Hey, you know what's fitting? Just like the characters in Rogue One, I don't really know or care much about her.
Yep, basically.
And
I cared about the droid.
Yeah, and the best one is the one that has the best action scene at the end.
The robot.
Oh no.
No, Jeff. I was all about Darth Vader.
Oh,
Remind me, Jova, what was the... if I remember correctly, there was that bit in Bayformers 3 where Sam was given some kind of bomb or whatever it was by an Autobot. I forgot who it was.
I think that may have been Wheeljack.
That's it. Like, he basically opens up this compartment on his ass or whatever it is and just gives it, here, son, take this ball. Like, it's literally like, basically, it's like Michael Bay thought to himself, we have to make the U.S. military be somewhat efficient because I have such a big fucking erection for the U.S. military. I know, I'll have Wheeljack to give Sam this bomb that will allow the military to be somewhat effective against the Decepticons.
I still do feel like Revenge of the Fallen was definitely the biggest commercial for the military.
Remember, Teo, every single Michael Bay
No, not the rival!
Oh no.
Oh, there! Oh my god, yes, we got it! The Irish woman singing in the background.
again. Also, to be fair, Joe, for this movie, they actually mended up, even if it was in a twisted way. So at least it's a bit better than in Pocahontas, I guess.
Oh no, guys, Rogue One is hit. And
Remember
no, that
the-
other guy is down.
Oh no.
And would you look at that, guys? Michelle Rodriguez's character dies.
I'm sorry. That was just priceless.
Once again, Michelle Rodriguez's character dies.
Well, at least it's not 10 minutes into the movie.
Okay, actually, this is a good point. Let me check if she's casted for the sequels.
Okay. But no, that's the thing, Joe. Remember, the
Oh,
Bay
but he's
Formers-
okay. Or
Remember-
maybe he's not, because remember, if you
Okay, she's not surprisingly, but she was an uncredited cameo in Alita Battle Angel, and she's gonna be one character, I don't know which one, in the 2023 Dungeons and Dragons movie.
Interesting.
But yeah, remember, Joe, the Bayformers universe takes place in the planet Magic Hour. So,
Of course.
so
At least there we
so,
showcase the passage of days.
so obviously, Joe, we have to have multiple shots of military people coming out of their vehicles in slow motion, looking all cool. I mean,
So, yeah, we're pretty much losing. How are we going to turn this around?
And they also have flamethrowers and a carpet bombing strategy.
Natiri, they have guns galore. You have a bow and arrow.
Uh-oh.
Oh. Could it be the cavalry?
It's a moral stampede.
Well, that was lucky.
Okay, sorry. This core does not fit this.
Yay! Now it's more upbeat.
This is supposed to be an epic moment, but the music makes it look so quirky. Like, no, the tone is completely wrong.
When did the movie become a Steven Spielberg flick with the music? God damn. Oh my god!
Someone got,
He literally got crushed!
with this music
And you're
in the
playing
background.
this music over
This is
you!
the-
Oh
this
my
is the
god!
kind of, Jova, this is the kind of YouTube video with like dramatic death happening while I play and fit the music in the background.
Jesus
crazy.
Christ, James Cameron.
yes,
Okay,
hey,
look,
but guys,
I
hey,
actually
you
get
listen
to the meaning of the scene. Again, Pandora being this entire ecosystem means that the entire planet is now revolting against the invader, kind of like of a immune system against a bacterial infection. But
That
again,
being said-
the music just doesn't work.
that not just that, Tail. I just thought of something. Hold on, Neytiri. You told us that Awa doesn't take sides. She only cares about the balance of nature. So what happened to that?
I guess
Well,
he
remember,
decided
Jacob
that the
connected
balance...
to her, so I guess she might took her time, but I guess
Oh,
she
and
took a
look
decision.
at that. Now even the Predator wants to help.
Okay. Okay.
Wow, that was quite a turnaround.
Oh, not Papa Dragon anymore? I'm so disappointed.
Oh, for a second there.
Oh
I
my
was
god,
gonna-
I just realized something.
What?
Yeah,
Um,
for a second there, I thought it was going to be like Lex Luthor and try and launch the stuff even though they're not ready yet, and it nearly kills.
This entire mission is to delay as much as possible the Papa Dragon bombardier, so they don't carpet bomb the remaining tree and everything. I
Also, Papa Dragon, where's your cup of coffee? Come on, you can't
I
just
really-
be out killing people without your morning coffee.
I really dread to think, because again, I haven't played yet, but I really dread to think if this beat in the video game will be an escort mission. Oh
That's the thing,
man.
Tail. One thing I do know this actually. The
Uh-oh.
video game actually,
Shit!
the video game actually doesn't follow the plot of the movie, Tail. Instead, you're playing as an original character,
Do not steal.
and if I remember correctly, it takes place before the movie.
Huh. Interesting.
Is it a human or a Navi?
A human who gets put in a Navi
Again,
body, I think.
for the final thoughts, I'll take a look at the back cover. Why not, for funsies?
Okay, now it's time to take down Papa Dragon.
Is this all still going?
Yes.
it's still
To be fair,
going.
Ribs, it's almost over, actually.
Yeah, we've got less than 20 minutes left.
It's like I said, Ribs, this movie doesn't really have enough content in it to justify its length. It's just like we could have easily told this story, even with all the world building, in just 90 minutes.
Well, crud.
So here we go. Once again, he holds his breath to get into his mech.
Well, I mean, I'll give him this. He's very dedicated to work.
Oh my god, are you serious?
Obsessed.
He's not even closing. He wasn't even closing his mouth during that. Yeah, there you go. Now you cannot tell me that after that he
Nope.
didn't breathe at least a bit of the air.
No. Believe it or
He's
not,
just dead
Yeah.
cool.
Oh, all right, I'll just be coming here right now in a moment.
he
Right.
still has his breath being held.
It's still burning. Hold on.
Burning is just a minor convenience.
Seriously.
I mean, that Colonel guy is beyond determined.
Are you sure? Are you sure this guy shouldn't have been the main character? He's been to everything.
Okay, that's the thing, Ribs.
He
You have to
won the war on his own.
You have to balance that with a very despicable personality. So pick your poison, I suppose.
Yeah, there have been characters in fiction who are the main lead and are despicable people.
Okay, I argue not to this kind of, And remember, the movie doesn't even try to make it look sympathetic.
So, okay, so he's in a robot suit.
They don't even go for the angle of, maybe in another story this guy would have been the hero.
So, yeah, here's the thing. This guy's in a robot suit. Haven't we dealt with those already? Like, what's so big and bad about this particular
He's him
one?
piloting. Remember, he also has a custom
I'm guessing
for a gun.
I'm guessing Joe was supposed to see this as his
Oh,
one final desperate
snap. Yeah. Maybe we shouldn't have left our trailer there for him to blow up, guys.
move. Not just
Seeing
that.
as how
like
it
I
has
said-
our bodies in there.
Not just that. Like I said, if you guys had actually done this before, we wouldn't
This
be
would
having
have
this
not
problem.
happened.
Yeah.
But don't you
Like,
see, time was
seriously.
of the essence. They couldn't waste any time on that.
Oh wait, Joe. But yet we could waste time asking the tree to help us. I mean, hell, in that night where he came to ask the tree for advice, he could have done both.
But don't you see, the tree was the guaranteed solution.
Counterpop.
Wow, he literally has a knife for his
Oh
mech.
my god!
The mech,
Seriously.
the mech literally has its own knife that he twists.
I think you got it, dude.
Not just
Jeez.
that, you saw that when he did the last time, the expression he made. I guess that's the one. Okay, we'll say this we'll say this in a more positive manner, Dwibs. For as much as
wait, here.
like his
Nothing's over while I'm breathing. I kind of hope you'd say that. Okay, Jake, that's pretty bloodthirsty of you.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, to be fair, he's killed a whole bunch of people. Anyway, you were saying to you?
For as much of a complete unredeemable asshole this guy is, it is kind of refreshing to have this kind of basic bitch for a villain. I will admit that.
Yeah, I mean, he's so dedicated to his job and he holds nothing back.
Like, okay, I'll say this. Him being this much of a dick is both a strength and a weakness. It's definitely a weakness for the earlier half of this movie, but when the movie just stops trying to be all full of itself, and actually just realizes that, we're kind of pretty silly, they kind of do realize.
He's holding his breath again.
Oh dear.
He should have died of breathing. You cannot. He clearly breathed a bit of it just now. Like, you can't possibly tell me that this guy hasn't suffered a single bit of damage because of the air at this point.
Yeah, he's just like, fuck all of that.
Oh, there you go.
I mean, if you're the best example, not much.
Of course.
Well, crud,
And you're just
yeah.
gonna stand there. And it's like, wait, you just stand there and let him have a head start.
Oh, sorry, wrong
Empty.
coffin.
You told me it was the wrong. Oh shit.
Also, he's literally going in and out.
Great.
Oh, not the hair, not the hair!
It's sensitive.
Yeah, that's how they reproduce.
I have a question.
Wait, oh
Go
my
on.
god, wait. I have to ask this. If the hair is how they reproduce, does that mean that he's grabbing him by the dick?
Not just that, but I have a question. Why would the humans, when they created these artificial Navi bodies who were just meant to be able to communicate with the others,
Oh, everything I've survived, and it's an arrow that takes me out. Oh, cruel irony.
You know what's the worst thing?
It's
There you go.
Tuesday.
Okay, 2.
He's still breathing.
To be fair, Boromir needed like what 4 arrows before actually dying. And
Oh my God, that
God.
And now he's dead.
Ugh.
But I have a question. How the hell were humans able to properly recreate Navi reproductory systems on the artificial bodies? And why would we even do that to begin with, considering they weren't meant for that purpose anyway?
I guess for maximum efficiency in blending in.
I guess, but
Bonk.
oh no.
Oh
well.
no.
Oh no, Jake is totally gonna die. Yeah, see, look at that. See, Jake immediately starts suffering the moment he starts breathing the air. So how come the general didn't?
To be fair, it
Well,
took a
he
bit
breathed.
to actually making him comatose like that.
Yeah, and he actually did breathe in a bit here. The general, for all those times, managed to hold his breath just that damn good. No. You had sex with me. You're not getting out of it that easily, mister. You have a commitment to make. Also, I'm pregnant. At least I think I am.
That's a TMI at the moment.
No, that actually is a good point, Jova. If she was pregnant, the baby probably would be a spawn, an abomination, because seriously, would the reproduction even happen normally? Because the body's artificial. It's just like
Unless-
Maybe that's what the sequels will explain.
It
Maybe.
just raises too many questions.
Really? Who gives a shit?
So, yeah. Go back, humans. Go back. Think about what you've done now.
Okay, you see, Dwebs, I'm hoping you've learned, and I think you've realized just how absolutely abhorrent you are. Dwebs.
And yes,
Cool.
even you, cartoony douche nozzle.
We don't even get a resolution for him.
He just
Military guy gets to hog all the ham.
Well, to be fair,
But hey, look at the
that's a
bright
good
side.
choice.
And now just the researchers will stay, so I guess not all humans were bad?
Hashtag not all humans.
Oh, for God's sake.
Sorry, YouTube. I'm gonna drop
Why-
my
So
channel
what-
with this one.
So what you're telling me...
Why are you even bothering?
What you're telling me is that we've been watching your blog this entire time, dude.
Also, how many of these pod chambers do you have? Like, a lot of them were actually destroyed in the process.
Well, let's not
Yeah,
forget, we
true.
saw other humans who were using avatar bodies, even in
guess.
that last scene, so I guess... they
Oh,
had
it's
quite
your
a bit.
birthday.
Come again?
I have a question. Okay, why is he even still doing a video log after this point? Like,
I guess it's the equivalent Pedro writing a diary. He's just doing for the sake of himself.
Pretty much, yeah. Now let's see. Will the ritual work this time?
Gee, I wonder.
I wonder.
I wonder why. Okay.
Please, I don't need to see Sam Worthington's junk. Oh, thank God his hand is covering it.
Actually, I think it's more so that the body is turned in a way where you can't see it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for kissing his eyelids?
Maybe it's a Navi thing.
Oh, thank
Maybe
God
it's
the
a
web
Navi
is
thing, I don't
covering
know.
it.
Oh, it's okay. The little fairy pixie things, or whatever the hell they're
Jellyfish is.
called, the magical jellyfish are helping, so it should be cool.
Eyes open, eyes open, eyes open. Hey, Chappie, rip
There
this
we
off.
And cut.
And that's,
Oh, we have a title. So be too late for that.
Well, to be fair, that happens a lot.
Well, okay,
Okay.
guys. We should call ourselves Avatar.
Not fantastic. Also, Dweebs.
So what are we?
Okay,
Some
maybe.
kind of Avatar squad.
Okay, maybe I don't remember it happening, but I don't remember at the beginning strictly the title of the movie showing up. Oh, Mauro Fiore. I know this guy. But I remember there are a lot of products that love to not have a title drop at the beginning. They just have it at the very end for meaningful ways. I get it. It just feels a bit wasteful, but I'm just, digressing. Final thoughts, I guess.
Dwebs.
Alright. Yeah, okay. I could definitely understand why this film was as popular as it was, because of the special effects and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But aside from that, this film doesn't really have a whole lot much to offer, to be honest. I mean, it's got one of the blandest actors of the 21st century as the lead. All the other people are either just trying the best they can or are really over the top. We've got a plot that's been told a million times before and done better. We've got we've got a complete lack of subtlety. And I mean, the music's fine, I guess. I mean, it is as like I said before, it is a shame that it turned out this was the last collaboration between James Cameron and James Horner before Horner's untimely death.
Mm.
But yeah, this film really doesn't really have a whole lot going for it. Really, I don't know. They're gonna make sequels out of this.
Okay, there's admittedly a lot of world that they can make stuff out of it, but in regards to there being a conflict, I do agree with you that you do wonder what's gonna be the next big threat. Oh, more humans, or maybe an alien attack from Mars.
To be fair, if I recall correctly, in development it was mentioned that James Cameron was influenced by the work of Edgar Rice Burroughs for this one, and I can definitely see it.
Oh,
here.
yeah.
Not just Tarzan, but also the John Carter series.
Yeah, I actually see quite a bit of influence from the John Carter stuff.
But yeah, that's pretty much the movie in my opinion. It's a pretty load of nothing.
Style over substance in a nutshell.
Emphasis on which particular word, Waves?
Pretty, I guess. I mean,
Is there an after credits scene?
No. Jake will not be invited to the X-Force initiative. Or the Fan Force Stick initiative, whatever.
Anyway, that's it, I'm done.
Next.
I'll go next. It's style over substance. Like, don't get me wrong, the effects and world, well done. The music, maybe not the most memorable, but still well done. That said, though, the story, writing, and characters are where the movie falls flat. Like, for the first half, they try and give us some semblance of them taking themselves seriously, And I guess they technically do take themselves seriously in the second half, but the second half is where things go bonkers. The movie loses sight of things and just basically goes all black and white morality on us. I mean, sure, yeah, I guess some of the humans aren't evil, like Michelle Rodriguez, who ends up dying, and the researchers, some of whom are still avatars, like, I guess they'll get to stay and the Na'vi will trust them since they're cool, I guess? Okay. But the writing itself, though, is like, okay, it's boring. Okay. It's fine at its absolute best. And mind you, those are like, those moments are scattered throughout the movie here. At its worst, it's either boring or just downright insane. Like, Jesus Christ. Subtlety gets thrown out the window with an anvil tied to it. Oh, there you go. Industrial Light and Magic did help out on this. Oh, God. Look at all the people involved with the visual effects. Like, it's like I said. Most of the effects went in... Well, most of the effort definitely seems like it went into making this
Also, it was
look
filmed
as
in New
pretty.
Zealand, obviously. Again, like Graves mentioned, after Lord of the Rings, everyone wanted to film in New Zealand. I don't blame them.
Yet surprisingly, they didn't do a Lord of the Rings shot on this one.
They did actually a couple. Remember, for example, the mission where we had to get to the steed for Jake, the flying steed. They have a couple of those aerial shots where they're walking on.
I guess I was talking about, again, the music sounds like Pirates of the Caribbean. I was talking about like one of those mountain shots, like. Okay, guys, did you really want Zoe Saldana to work on that Pirates of the Caribbean sequel, but you knew she couldn't because of this movie, so you decided that this would make it up to her?
I guess so.
Like, holy cow. Oh, wow, even Microsoft were involved in this movie. But,
while it was performed by Leona Lewis, the music was actually done still by James Horner. Neat.
yeah.
Well,
But
that was a common thing too. Like even Land Before Time, he also wrote "If We Hold On Together." So he wrote the songs for the movies he was making music for. So.
But yeah, look, as with many things that are style over substance, for as much as the visuals did knock people's socks off, they age with time. And unfortunately, the movie does not have spectacular writing to bounce off of. Special mention goes to that particularly awful live reveal part. Like, it's the kind where, yes, I get it, revealing the truth, but he does it at the absolute worst moment, which just leads to, well, as far as we saw, just the father getting killed. I don't recall seeing any of the Na'vi getting killed. Like, yeah, that's the thing. For as much as they want us to have the Na'vis be the good guys, the Na'vis are pretty damn violent.
Okay,
sounds
to
like
be
they
fair, in the final
instigate a
battle, we
lot.
do get to see a couple of them getting shot over.
True, yeah, but still, I'd say that the amount of Na'vi that got killed are outnumbered by the amount of humans that got killed.
Not to mention, remember, the entire thing they wanted to do the humans was a preemptive attack because they feared they would have been attacked first.
Like,
so...
technically, from what the story has told us, the Na'vi were the ones who struck first and have killed first.
Mm-hmm.
But the movie doesn't seem to like to acknowledge that when it's inconvenient for its narrative, now does it?
Yep.
Look, it's not some god-awful or terrible film. It does have terrible writing, don't get me wrong. But we've seen way, way worse on this show. Like, it's like Dwib said, like, this doesn't even really hit the bottom of worst things ever. It's something that's in that weird, it's in that weird purgatory of being mediocre, yet kind of enjoyable enough to the point where maybe I'd watch some clips from YouTube, but, oh god, the whole movie. No, okay, there is stuff that's definitely easy to make fun of, but at the end of the day, let's be honest, if the sequel doesn't do well, I think the legacy of this movie is best left with just this first movie. Something that definitely captured a lot of people's hearts and eyes, enough to make it all that much money. So, I'll just say this, good luck to the sequels for living up to that legacy, because a word of advice, have some substance to go with that style. Because now that
Not even just that. Like, this movie's not gonna have the wow factor. That the sequel is not gonna have the wow factor that this movie had.
Yeah.
So, combined with the fact that Avatar is no longer a relevant franchise because it's been away for so long, people, the superhero genre has taken over since then, and I'm not entirely sure if people are really gonna care all that much about going to see this movie at this point.
Now, granted,
Especially if there's like a Marvel movie around the corner at the same time or something.
Now, granted, the re-release of Avatar apparently showed that some people do still care about Avatar because that's why Avatar is back at being #1 of all-time box office hits. But yeah, here's the thing: like, there's not really any hype for an Avatar sequel to most people, as far as I know. Like, maybe back when the movie was originally came out, there was definitely a lot of people buzzing to see how a sequel could even raise things even higher. But now that it's been over a decade. Okay, look, unlike something like Infinity War, this thing doesn't end on some cliffhanger or anything. Like, as far as we know, things are solved, good, so there's no real hype to see what comes next. And in regards to the fan base, you don't really hear people clamoring about, oh my god, I can't wait to see the sequel to Avatar these days. And yeah, sure, people do still speak fondly of this movie, but it's mainly in passing and the impact it had, and most people agree that it has aged. And honestly, for as much praise as the movie did get, I have not heard a single person talk about the story being great. It's mainly just been with the world building and lore, like
the special effects.
Yeah, never have I heard anyone outright go and say the writing was amazing, guys. Like, even when this movie initially came out. Like, did you guys run into anyone who talked about the writing being amazing?
I distinctly remember someone telling me that they got that the more emotional scenes, like say the fall of a tree or the death of Sigourney Weaver's character, actually got to them. So, but not in a general sense, it seems that the clear drama moments of the movie might have been struck someone's chords.
I guess that doesn't surprise me. That's sort of what those kind of moments are made for, so there's that. But yeah, the writing as a whole, I've never heard anyone compliment as this amazing thing.
I also remember the memes at the time, particularly someone editing a Navi version of Rowan Atkinson for some reason.
Oh yeah, I remember. That was hilarious. I have no idea why, but it got a chuckle out of me. But yeah, essentially what I said. This movie is style over substance. If you go into it knowing what you're there to enjoy, all the more power to you. Next.
Pedro?
Well, that was stupid.
Pedro, the guy can hold his breath for just that long.
Yes, and that would be cool, but that's the thing. I don't even get the feeling the movie's aware of how unintentionally hilarious he is. That's the thing.
Maybe the reason why he's so evil is because he got brain damage by holding the breath for so long.
Maybe.
Who knows? Oh well, maybe those scars are the brain damage. So, anyway, yeah, the movie is just like it's a disappointment. Coming from the perspective of someone who saw this back in 2009 in the theaters, it's quite a disappointment, considering it's the movie that really made me realize that I don't think he's got it in him anymore at this point. It's just like it became clear to me that the James Cameron that made Terminator 2 doesn't exist anymore. Because talk about completely downgrade, dropping the ball when it comes to and it's just so sad. This is literally every single stupid 90s cliche thrown together to create the most boneheaded environmental message you'll ever see. The characters are underdeveloped. The story is with all the subtlety of an anvil dropping on top of Wile E. Coyote's head. and the world building is fine, but honestly, even as far as world building in movies go, I've seen better, to be honest with you. So I'm not exactly like whatever. It's just like it's a very okay when you get right onto it and just judge it on its own merits. It's not like a horrible piece of shit. It's more so like an incredibly mediocre, boring piece of crap because it's too long, and it's fun to riff on in the second half, but that first half is kind of a slog because for the most part it's just kind of the movie's just kind of going through the motions.
And that's the ironic thing. I'd argue the first half is the one that at least has better focus on what the movie wants to be. The second half is, like you said, arguably more fun to make fun of, but is arguably also where the movie really starts to just come apart at the seams.
Yeah. Yeah, so basically everybody I guess if you've never seen a movie in your life, you probably will find this story good, but if you've been alive at all in the past 20 years, I don't think there's that much here in terms of story to really do that much for you, to be honest.
And unfortunately, this movie doesn't even have the wow factor of being one of the best, if not the best looking movies around anymore.
No, the novelty factor is far more than worn out by this point. and as a result, this is just a somewhat pretty looking load of whatever. Basically.
That we tend to make fun of here and there.
Yes, I have no idea what the hell they're gonna do with the Avatar. What exactly? Okay, so we defeated the humans. We saved Jake. Where's the conflict gonna come in from now?
Skrulls?
You have to remember that these human forces were actually a private minor company, the RDA company, whatever it's called, that's here for strictly mining purposes. I get the idea that maybe for an escalation they're gonna have Earth, I guess, send an actual military contingent or something.
Oh, God.
So basically, it's just going to be this movie done again, except with more.
Don't tell me they're gonna bring back the douche nozzle as well.
No, well, he's dead.
No. I'm talking about the corporate one.
Oh, that one? I don't know, to be honest.
Is his actor listed in the cast?
I'm gonna check in the meantime. Go on, Pedro.
It's just a whole lot of whatever. Like, it really is sad. Like I've said before, like I've said in that movie's commentary, True Lies was the last James Cameron movie that I really enjoyed. And like I said in that again, I really miss pre-Titanic James Cameron.
I mean, as someone who liked Titanic, I'll admit, even after Titanic, as far as I know, dude dropped the ball. I mean, he's helped out with some good stuff here, still in there, but a lot of his other stuff has not
There
been
he is,
as great.
Giovanni Ribisi, and yes, he's supposed to be appearing in both Avatar 2 and 3.
Oh my God! So what, is he gonna have a bit where he becomes an Avatar 2 and
I don't
finally
know.
realizes how much he's
know.
wrong?
Well,
these
apparently I
people?
just realized that he's Donnie from Ted. Damn it.
Huh.
Allow me to sum up what would be my reaction if I was a Fox executive and James Cameron tried to pitch this script to me. My reaction would be, what the hell is this?
Although,
it's just fucking trees, James.
although, Pedro, to be fair, what would your reaction have been when it turned out to have been the highest grossing film of all time at the time afterwards?
Well,
I guess it's like what Michael Bay says in his appearance here at Greg Battles of History. I guess he understands that at the end of the day, this bitch is all about fucking money.
Whatever. It's a movie that there's a good reason why you don't really see anybody talk about this movie anymore, because nobody people don't like. What reason is there even to care? To be honest with you, like it's just
There used to be the sequel, but even though we now know that's gonna be a thing, who cares at this point?
no.
Honestly, my biggest question out of that is, look, I understand why they are movies, because the
Money,
movie
yeah.
itself sold more. But logically, for me, the next logical approach would be an actual TV series. I don't know. I don't believe it works better for the lore building, you know, and I mean, like the recurring villain of a week, the exploration of wildlife and everything. But again, I get it. The movie sold a lot, so we probably want to stay safe before having movies on that. I just don't think that the sequels will sell just as much as the first movie.
Won't it be
No.
funny if the sequel ends up being a box office bomb?
Looking forward to that 1 year and a half when this film will potentially be proven false, and I will lose all the faith that I ever made in humanity.
Here's what's gonna happen. The movie's gonna come out. Most likely, it's going to do fine at the box office, and that's about it. I'm pretty confident that it's not going to be a big hit like the original was, because the market has changed tremendously since 2009.
Yeah.
If this sequel if they really wanted this sequel to be successful, it should have come out at the very least 3 years later, at the very least, because at this point the panorama has changed completely. It's no longer the same market.
And like,
People
don't
are
get
not
me wrong, there have been some sequels that have taken literal decades to come out, but even they arguably still had a market for them as well. Avatar, though, like I said, Avatar's main reliance was on a spectacle here. And the spectacle has had more than enough time to wear off, so other than spectacle, what does it have going for it?
Not really. And when it comes to spectacle, we already have plenty of stuff like the MCU that gives us spectacle and more than just spectacle anyway. So it's not like there's nothing that this series can offer, unless James Cameron, for whatever reason, has an amazing Aliens Terminator 2 level script that he's been hiding from us all this time, and for whatever reason he didn't use it in the first film.
Wait,
So
I get it. An Aliens, Terminator, and Star Wars crossover.
Please no.
whatever. This movie is just like whatever.
Wait, oh my god, that's it, guys. Avatar 2 will have aliens and the Terminator in it. That's how he'll save it.
Probably.
Okay. To be like, I'm fine with more contained with just the xenomorph. That might be a neat idea for a crossover. Terminator, no, sorry. Also, I don't want Paramount to be involved with this. Anyway, you're done,
Go ahead.
Pedro?
Yes, go
Sure.
ahead.
Let me go quickly over the awards, like I did mention. Best Picture was The Hurt Locker, we said. Best Director was Catherine Bigelow for The Hurt Locker, while James Cameron was candidated. Best Actor, Best Actress, no, they were not candidated. Best Supporting Actress, no, not candidated. Best Original Screenplay was not candidated. Adapted Screenplay, not either. Well, original material and everything. Best Original Score, no, it was candidated, but instead it went up one by Michael Giacchino. Sure, I guess. Best Original Song, there wasn't the Leona Lewis song here. What a shame. Best Sound Editing was candidated, but Paul and Jay Ottoson won for The Hurt Locker. Same goes for the Best Sound Mixing. And then, like I said, the Best Art Direction, Best Cinematography, and the Best Visual Effect won Avatar. Surprisingly enough, I guess because everything was CGI, but there wasn't a candidate. It wasn't candidated for Best Makeup, which, to be fair, was won by Star Trek, which, fair enough, Star Trek deserves some Oscars, So, but that's pretty much it. Anyway, as for me, my thoughts are pretty much the same as Jova's. It's clearly not the worst thing that I've ever seen, and I gotta be honest, I will watch this over Titanic every single day, because like I said, at the end of the day, Titanic is not really a bad movie, but it's so boring for me. This at least has the fantastical elements that keep my interest up, particularly the world building. The world of Pandora is rich. It has interesting lore. The way everything is connected, kind of like of a giant brain, like it was mentioned. So exploring more of this ambient, the culture that it provides is actually a neat idea. What really fails with this particular story is the fact that some of his themes have aged over the years. The way the cartoonish way the main villain, the commander general acts, the way the Navi reacts also to the Lyra situation itself, and the thing that Joe was mentioning about Jake starting to be okay in killing his own people. Again, like, it's nothing.
Like I said, the second half is where the script just falls apart.
If I recall correctly, Joe, the trope for this one is what measure is a mook. Again, all of these point out to the fact that this was clearly started to be written in the 90s, and probably when it was perfected over the course, the core survived, and it's the product we're seeing to this day. And this is probably the reason why there's so many cliches and situations from the 90s, because it literally had them. That in itself is not a complete bad thing. Like I said, I kind of like the themes of some particular themes of the nature of a world. And some of the fight scenes I actually do like. For example, the choreography for the final fighting against the mech suite, that is pretty neat. The thing that fucks me over the most, honestly, is the score. Because the composer is better than this. But the score really does not fit the situation, like, at all. It's so dissonant in more places than one, particularly in the final battle. And I don't understand why.
When that guy gets his head crusted.
Like, it's not even works for, like, say, a triumphant moment, because it's treated again like a quirky kind of music. And again, I get it, the musical theme, because Titanic had one, so I wanted to replicate that feeling, but just no. Our characters, I kind of like everyone in terms of the good guys, except Jake. Jake ranges from being too stupid to being kind of an asset. He starts mellowing out on that front later, but he keeps the stupidity that allows him to be a complete nuisance for the rest of the movie, and this drags the story down, particularly the Lyra reveal moment, which culminates with the tree falling, which, to connect what I said before, while it didn't touch me as personally as the people that I know that told me about it, I can understand when the movie is trying to convey the dramatic moments, even if it may look goofy. But I do believe in what the movie is trying to tell. But it's pretty much it. When we have weird stuff like Jake taming the orange bird off screen, and again, the whole terrible implication, especially to this day and age, of the, both the wild guy saves the natives because he's so super special, compared to them, and the whole I choose to remain in this new body, effectively abandoning behind my disability, which is a topic that is extremely delicate. And like I said, Shira is the best person to be talking about, and the reason why she's not here is probably that. So it will be fun to ask her off commentary more information, because she did give the idea that she knows about the movie. So, but that's really much it for movie. It's not a movie that I will watch like religiously, like say I do with Lord of the Rings, but it's not the worst thing ever. It could be improved in a lot of ways, but I guess it could have been all the worse. But it's a testament, like Pedro said, that James Cameron really lost his touch over the years. And I too question the validity of the sequels, because like I said, every franchise has the potential to go on forever in my eyes. This one, like I said, feels like it should have been continuing a series format, kind of like Stargate, when you get down to it. But the movie-wise, they do it because, again, cash cow, Disney wants to sink their teeth into that golden goose. So we'll see how that turns out, supposedly next year. I'm not gonna do what I said for the new Mutants and promise when I'm gonna watch this in theaters. Avatar 2, I don't really think it's gonna be worth it. I get it, it's probably a spectacle and everything, but unless someone else pays me the ticket to go see it, it's probably not gonna be on a high list for me. So before concluding, let me give you a preface of the tie-in video game by reading the brief snippets at the back cover. Entering a new world, be the one that starts the war. Oh, great. The Avatar program has sent you on the faraway planet of Pandora and made you the protagonist of an epic battle for survival. Now is the time to decide for which to fight. Will you defend the human race or sign with the inhabitants of Pandora, the Navi, helping when defending the world? Oh, so you can actually choose the faction. Fight
Interesting.
as a member of the RDA squad or as a Navi with both single and multiplayer. Spoilers, the servers are closed, so you will not see that. Ride legendary steed and acquire new abilities at the end and inside the game, and explore the magical worlds of Pandora. Fair enough. Again, I spent like $5 on this. Kex is very generous in annually copy. This, if you don't know, at least in my country, in both Kex and GameStops, this it gets sold away used. You like candies for like $3, $5 tops, which is like little pocket money when it comes to video games in my country. So I really couldn't resist at some point and get it. So stay tuned for that. See ya.
Should be
Yeah.
interesting. See ya.